You're listening to the Magic Our Way podcast with Kevin, Danny, Eli, and Lee. Oh, I love the way their foul little minds work. Yeah.
Jumbo, everyone!
Harambe!
And welcome to another edition of
The Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way.
Magic Our Way!
Magic Our Way.
The Magic Our Way podcast. They are truly magical and whatnot.
Asante Sana, everyone. You're listening to the happiest podcast on earth, the Magic Our Way podcast from New Orleans, Louisiana, in the United States of America. We are artistic buffs talking about Disney stuff. And this is the show in which every opinion is welcome. MagicOurWay.com is where you can find us for this episode. We are talking about Danny's first experience with the Disney Cruise Line. And look, this isn't your typical polished, practiced, pixie dust and Disney podcast. No, sir. We are not in the Disney cruise every day trying to tell you how to make sure you complete the Midship Detective Agency before the cruise ends.
That's right, Kevin. We're here to drink, talk Disney, and hopefully Disney dream on.
Dream on.
That's right. Love on that, hug on that, just let it sail on by you.
My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
I'm Eli.
And this is Lee. And yeah, you want to book a cruise, do it with me, and you won't lose.
Nice.
That sounded
terrible.
Didn't come out as good as it did in my head.
No, it did not. You
Yeah.
keep that, though.
Yeah, you say lose, you see, or something like that.
Cruise yourself in the music the moment you own it. Yeah.
Never let it go.
Hamilton.
You only get one sail.
So guys, look, enough of our jibber jabber jamming. Let's go get our cruise on and sail the seven seas with the Disney Cruise Line. Here we are on the hub. This is our main topic segment of the show. The segment that covers any topics that we discuss. And for this one, we are talking about Danny's first experience on the Disney Cruise Line, specifically the Disney Dream.
Yep.
And you know, I've been on only cruises on twice, and I've had great experiences. So I'm looking forward to hearing what he has to say, the likes, dislikes, all this stuff about his first cruise line experiences. Because as you know, we're a little worried about him. We didn't know if he'd get on the boat, but he texted us and the Mohican Nation in the group saying that he passed the test. His entire party passed the test, and they got on the boat. So if you follow us in Magic Our Way, Pleasure Island 33 Facebook group, you will know that they got on the boat and experienced their first ever trip with the Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah, I don't post often, but when I post, it's meaningful.
Poignant.
Yes.
It's meaningful.
It is.
Absolutely. So, Danny, I'm going to turn it over to you, man. Wherever you want to take the discussion about your first experience on the cruise line, I'm excited for you. I can't wait to hear what you do.
I am too. Usually I go.
We need to get you on a cruise at some point.
Well, first and foremost, lower your expectations.
Lower your expectations.
Always.
Danny, I'm not looking forward to hearing this damn trip.
Always check your expectations.
Don't want it.
No, then never expect greatness. No.
I didn't expect greatness. I expected something about the Disney Cruise Line.
That's how you said, yeah.
I didn't prepare.
You know, after that last episode, Eli and I, where we talked about our Disneyland trip, that there just might be some people out there that are like, this is going to be something akin to. No, it's not.
Yes, they're all like.
Yes. No, the people that we traveled with were all functional adults. They were all cool. They were all knowledgeable. They were all good people. And so
You didn't have people trying to sneak food from the buffet off the boat or anything?
Didn't happen. We actually had a trained chef with us that gave us a lot of insight to the food that we were having on the boat. So, I mean, we had some adults with us. We adulted on this on this trip, I should say. And
the podcast.
So, quick spoiler for anyone listening. Yes. This is not going to be like the last one. In fact, if this trip was like the last one, a travel agent, I'm booking an exorcist when I'm scheduling my Disney trips from now on. So no, this
because who's been scheduling your Disney trips as of late?
That would be Lee.
No, just kidding. We love you,
That
Lee.
Rachel Robert's trip, now that went off without a hitch.
Oh, snap. We love you, Lee. We just
That
we love
one
you.
night,
In Bangkok or Paris?
Lee tried to make his way up the ladder. That's all. That's all.
So if you want to enjoy Eli and I's pain, go back to episode 394. This trip did have its highs and lows, no doubt about it. Every trip does.
Yes.
So there were moments, but this was an overall good trip.
Good.
For the family. Not a great trip, but a good trip.
I'm excited only because it's like now you're the only other person on this podcast that's done a Disney cruise.
Oh.
So it's like when we talk about things, it's like we can respond.
All the free crap Lee
yes.
gets, he doesn't get a Disney cruise out of this?
No, not yet.
You did do Alani, though. You did do Alani.
He
so
did.
You got one on us.
That's one we haven't done.
I actually looked and priced out a trip for the family for this year, but it's just
no.
We just went to spent 7 days in spring break, so going on a cruise was probably not financially a good idea. So.
I bet you Mrs. Lastavica was like, no way, nah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
a little bit. She was like, we just spent 7 days in Florida. I don't think we need to go on a Disney cruise. She's like, how much is Carnival? You get a discount on that?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Carnival.
Okay.
Shoot, man.
I got some stuff to tell you about Carnival.
Don't
do Carnival.
No.
Don't do it.
Well, we'll get to that.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We'll get to that.
I know what I'm getting into when I get on a Carnival cruise. So.
But I tell you what, Leah, even from a DVC standpoint, because I know we can use our points for the cruises, it's cheaper to pay cash than it's
it's not a good use of DVC points.
It's absolutely not a good use.
Yeah.
So Disney cruise is expensive, and no doubt Danny paid his fair share.
Oh no, we did. We even had 20-25% cruise credit in addition to what we'd already booked because
a drop in the bucket.
So for background purposes, this cruise was originally booked in 2019, I want to say.
Yeah, we've been talking about it on the show off and on. I remember this.
We were set to celebrate my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, which would have occurred in 2020. So it was going to be me, my wife, Anna, my child, Lily, my parents, Jackie and Danny. I'm a junior. And then there is my sister and her family, Erin, who you've heard in the show many times. Yeah, Sandy was on the show, my sister. And then her son, Kelly, and her daughter, Emmy. So the 9 people in total were scheduled to take this trip.
I feel like we should get Erin at some point.
I want to...
It's been a while.
I'm trying to figure out a way to do this, and we talked about this on the cruise. How do you do this? Because there are so many people and so many voices that need to speak on this, and I don't know how to do it. And
does Sandy want to come on too?
Oh my God, Sandy?
Yeah.
Have you ever talked to my sister?
I haven't really.
She has opinions.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
Fun.
She would love to share. This.
Yeah, she'll have.
This runs in the family. Trust me.
Oh, we'll get her and Aaron on the show. That'd be great.
They've been on the show together. It's a magical
I
game.
did.
I did. Yeah, they did the Mallyway game. Yeah, that's right. That'd be awesome.
It was wild how they got some of that right too. They would fuss at each other. You know what I picked? I know you picked that. Then it would be right.
It was good.
How'd you get to that? Okay, sorry,
right,
sir.
so yeah,
No, it's all good. It's all good. So the 9 people, and this cruise was canceled and rescheduled. Maybe Lee can help me on this one, but I want to say around about maybe 3 times.
Yeah, well, obviously the original one got canceled.
Yeah, because of COVID.
And so we waited to see what was going to happen with that, and they were like, okay, well, you can look. They gave us the 25% if we rescheduled on top of your whatever you paid, and so we did reschedule. But then those dates didn't work, I think, and so we rescheduled it again. Mm-hmm. And I think that's where you ended up was this one. I think we rescheduled it basically canceled once, rescheduled it, then rescheduled it again. But because the different dates and things like that that you guys decided to do, that 25%, it got eaten up pretty quick.
Oh yeah, 100%. If at one point, and now if I'm remembering correctly, I could be misremembering this, but at one point, I think we were set to sail during Mardi Gras. And then Emmy had something. Emmy, my niece, my sister's kid, who's just a sweetheart. She had a thing come up at school, and it wasn't like something you had to do, but it was something kind of voluntary, or it was like a spirit thing.
Okay.
And she wanted to do it so much, and so we were like, okay, we'll reschedule it again, so that way we can make sure she's there for it.
That's lucky.
Point being is we were trying to celebrate my parents' 50th, and by the time we stepped foot in the boat, my parents had long past celebrated their 52nd wedding anniversary.
I was going to say. It's still an anniversary.
Yes.
Well, hey, I raised my glass. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Yes. Thank you for conceiving your child here, or else we never would have had a podcast.
And it was really like, it was one of those things where you didn't feel like it was ever going to happen. Like it had gotten rescheduled and canceled so many times that it was like, it was just snake bait. So because of that, we really didn't book anything. Like, we really didn't go nuts on booking cabanas or dining reservations, all that. We just kind of went with the flow, and as it got closer and closer, we kind of were left to pick through the leftovers because, the biggest sort of Damocles, I guess you would say, and we've talked about it on this show, was the COVID testing.
Yes.
It just hung over your head, man, because
that was a drama that has permeated a bunch of different shows.
Yes,
for sure.
I know we've mentioned it, and so I'm going to try and kind of sum it up real quick for the benefit of people who might have not listened to those past shows. But I mean, the Disney Dream departs out of Port Canaveral. So in order to make sure, like, we did our homework, we made sure that we were going to be on that boat, and as best as we could manage it. So we made sure to arrive in Orlando a day early.
Which is a good piece of advice for anybody that goes on a cruise, because the last thing you want to happen is something to happen with your flight in.
Right.
And then, it gets canceled or it gets delayed, and then you miss getting on the ship. So obviously sometimes it doesn't work out, but the best advice, the number one piece of advice to start with, is to come in the night before.
Yes.
Whether that being staying near the port, or like you guys did, y'all stayed at the actual airport.
Exactly.
That's a good idea too. But get in the night before just to make sure there's no complications. And this is COVID, not COVID, doesn't matter. Just good travel advice in general.
And look, to supplement that, I wholeheartedly agree. When we did it I've been on 2 Disney cruises, and we did it for my honeymoon. What had happened is that we flew in that morning, and we took a Magical Express, and we flew and we went straight to the port, and luckily we got on the boat. Nothing happened. But I realized at that trip, I was like, man, this is kind of nerve-wracking.
Yes.
So when the second time we did it with my entire family, we actually got a hotel the day before. Actually, we made it 2 days before, because we spent a day at Cape Canaveral, the NASA space station. Well, and now it's like a joint space station with NASA and SpaceX and all that. And spent some time there. And then we woke up the next morning, leisurely got on the boat, and it was great. This is before COVID time. So, yeah, that's definitely to support what these guys are saying. That is definitely the way to go, is to get in a day earlier so that you're not stressed about making the board time for the boat before it leaves.
Yeah, 100%, dude. I can't agree more. That was our mindset, was to do everything we can to maximize our chances of getting on that boat, because, as Lee said, what if your flight's delayed? What if it gets canceled, if it gets changed or anything like that? So, and I think it was Aaron that came up with the idea, and I thought it was a brilliant idea, of staying at the airport. Because why take the risk? Why not stay at the airport? And so that way when we come in, we just go downstairs and we board Disney transportation. Because why book an Uber? You could have a flat. You could have the driver cancels on you. Something could happen.
The driver may give you some more rehypnol. It's just terrible.
Exactly. Cut out your kidneys and sell them on the black market. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Piss off a commuter and have them shoot you.
That's right.
That could happen.
The point being was that in the morning, it was all we had to do was walk downstairs, catch a Disney bus, and head on over to Port Canaveral. So we had things pretty well figured out to where all our bases were covered in as best as we could cover them.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah. No, that's great.
The one thing that was completely out of our control was the COVID testing. And that was the one thing that had all of us shitting bricks.
Understandably so. This has been like a couple of weeks out. I remember you talking about this.
100%. And don't get me wrong, not a one of us would have flew if any of us had COVID symptoms. In fact, I want to say my sister and my niece both had sinus infections and got themselves COVID tested a couple of days before getting on the flight, because they wanted to be sure. And it just turns out it was just sinus infection. Because, it's pollen season. It's April, for Christ's sakes. We're in spring.
And we're in Cancer Alley in Louisiana, so...
Yeah, it's everywhere.
What do you expect?
Exactly. So, you're doing your best, but that doesn't matter, because you could still have it and be asymptomatic, or you could have had it 2 weeks ago and realize you had it. Every strain, it's a little bit weaker than the one before it. So you can have it not like Eddie's son, Bren, just recently got diagnosed with COVID.
Oh.
You know why? He had the sniffles, and he's got the new strain.
Oh.
Every strain is weaker, and so like that was all
he's
it
got
was.
the latest strain. Oh,
got
he's
the
so
latest-
lucky.
Yeah,
oh my
man.
God.
He got
You
that
know,
Panani
He is so
strain.
trendy. Oh my God.
Got the COVID-14.
And as we all know from our last podcast, if you get tested positive, you're on your own.
You're on your own. Yeah, you're on your own.
I'm waiting for that on the commercial.
You're
Disney, you're on your own.
You're on your own.
Well,
And
that's
outside, you're on your own.
Oh.
And you got the COVID, you're on your own. You got the HIV,
That was my joke. It's like it's going to be like, oh, you know what? The good news is you're COVID negative. The bad news is you're HIV positive.
Oh.
I'm HIV positive, but I can still get on the boat.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. You're not on your own.
Yeah.
Obviously not, because that's how you got it.
And I think we've also mentioned they won't let you days in advance. Like if I wanted to go 2 to 3 days in advance and go to Walgreens and get tested because I'm a visitor. I'm coming from out of state. I've got to pay for the hotel room, so that way I'm there in advance of the boat leaving. I got to pay for the flight, so I'm there in advance of the boat leaving. I'm spending thousands of dollars just to be there. The idea of being on your own is just not a comfort.
Yes.
Right. And that's the other thing. Like you could test, like, and so I told you, my sister and her and Emmy did test,
Yes,
to make sure they were okay. My mother tested to make sure she was okay before getting it. I didn't want to do that because none of us had any symptoms, and I didn't want to add to my anxiety.
Fair enough.
Because I'm a very anxious person.
That's true. You do that before trips.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I get very anxious.
Thankfully, with the podcast trips, everything's been going fine.
There was a point where my daughter's in the school choir, and somebody, like her math teacher, I think, tested positive for COVID.
Have mercy.
Yes. And so they were like, well, she can perform in the school choir, but y'all have to do a home COVID test.
Oh, yeah.
And if you present the results, we'll let her in there. And it was like taking a home pregnancy test. It really was. It was like that first line was, boom, that's pink. But the second,
you couldn't tell what it was.
couldn't tell. It was like,
no.
is that a line? If I look at it long enough, let me take a picture, let me blow it up. Is that a second line showing me that my daughter has COVID? I couldn't tell whether or not my daughter had COVID or not on this thing. So it's like taking a home pregnancy test.
Am I dead or not?
Yeah, that's stressful. Put it up your nose again, girl. We got to get the second line.
Make sure that's correct. It might be malfunctioning.
Oh, man.
Let's try it again.
My philosophy was like, look, Disney is not going to turn down your money if they can take it.
Yeah, but they'll take
You
you and
are-
make you on your own.
If you have COVID, you really have COVID. You have a whole lot of COVID.
All the COVID.
No, wait,
All the COVID.
Back up a second. So, if
Yes.
you couldn't get on the boat, would they have refunded your money or reallocated
Probably
to just
not.
another
Yes.
cruise?
Yes.
They would have
They would.
refunded.
Yeah, you would get a full refund. That would happen.
Oh,
Yeah.
not even like a
Or you
like,
could reschedule if
like
you want
store
to.
credit. Oh, okay. So you had the
Store
option.
credit.
I mean, yeah, some places do
Yeah,
that. I
but
don't know.
they would refund you at that point.
They would refund you. Okay. That's
Oh, well,
okay,
that's
okay.
fair. Yeah, I mean, you still want to have the vacation, but at least
Yeah, but now that you're down there without a cruise, and then you're on your own.
'cause you're gonna get-
Because I remember Danny was stressing about that.
Yeah, I was stressing.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, like, so we all talked beforehand, and we all made a pact, right? We're all in it together.
Pact.
Like, if one person tested positive for COVID, even if no symptoms were there, if one person tested positive for COVID, we were all out.
Wow.
Trip was over. So we had
Wow.
9 people. All 9 had to get through. If any one of us tested positive for COVID,
You're going to Universal.
we're pulling out. We're going to Universal. That's
That sounds like a Stephen King novel or something.
I know, right?
It's the Pact.
your consolation prize. Men in Black.
Hey.
Which for some people,
It would be
is
interesting
not
to see
bad.
though, like, because that would be like on a show, like you make the pact, but then like you get there and like, well, wait a minute, let me think about this for a minute. Like, no, we said wait. Oh, I want to go. I want to go to the island.
Oh, more on that later.
Oh, okay, cool.
That later.
Dude, you know, I think we just came up with Universal's new marketing campaign.
If you test positive,
If you test positive on Disney Cruise,
Yeah.
come to us. We'll honor your cash and give you a stay at the Royal Pacific. That's right.
Oh,
We'll
wow.
book it through
The
your
Royal
travel agent,
Pacific,
and you
yeah.
can stay at the Royal Pacific. All express pass. They're all whatever in multiple use. Come to us. Hey,
Yes.
copyright Magic Our Way
Yeah,
2022.
Universal. You're not on your own with us.
Yes, we got you, baby.
So
We got
one thing to consider is that, and again, this is for anybody who's traveling. So if one member of your party tests positive for COVID, and you're in the same stateroom, you got to stay home. The whole party. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
But even if you've been traveling with another party the entire time and no one tests positive, they can go on. Disney says that they recommend, quote unquote, recommend they don't travel. But if none of them test positive, they're not going to stop it. So they can get on the boat.
Oh, wow.
So just FYI, in case you didn't know, now you know.
So the lesson here is, if you got 4 people in your party, rooms.
Say again?
Wait, if you have 4 people in your party, four separate rooms?
So just book 4 rooms. That way, if Danny tests positive, Lily and Anna can still go.
All right, so if you book, if you want to book 4 separate rooms for your 4-member family, reach out to Lee at magicourway.com.
That's exactly all the Maplethorpes out there. Yes, and the royalty that can afford that.
I was going to say, that's not how the family pack works.
No. the family pack was one for all for one, no man or woman left behind. We're all in this together.
Yeah.
We're all in this.
Yeah.
Needless to say, we were a little unnerved, but we were all in this together.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Whoever ruined it for everyone would have never heard the end of it.
Just gotten a stink eye.
Such a yes, exactly.
Stink eye.
I know how. Yeah.
So I'm going to explain the process. So now we're
Explain the process. All right.
Okay.
All right, here we
Chill
go.
it. Listen.
what I don't like about this is it's going to sound like I'm kind of comparing it to Auschwitz.
Okay.
Oh, my God.
But I'm totally not.
Oh, my God.
Everyone was very positive, but
Yeah, there was no showers at the end of this trip.
let's just put it like this.
All right.
They bus you in,
Yes.
okay? Then there's a cast member who steps on the bus. And the cast member who stepped on our bus, the microphone didn't work, so she's shouting instructions at us. She's like, you need to do this, and you need to do this. And she's screaming.
It's like the Marine Corps recruit depot. Step on the yellow line. Step on the yellow line. Put your feet. Cross that recruit. Back to front.
We're at the back of the bus, so not in the back, maybe the middle of the bus. We couldn't hear. All you could make out was, have your personal ID ready, mask it every time and everything like that. And that's all you can make out. People are turning another, like, what do we do? I don't know. Like, they're just nervous. It's a nervous.
They're on edge. That's understandably so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then they march you out of the bus, single file, and they hand you paperwork to fill out. And they lead you towards this makeshift medical tent.
Oh, God.
So do you have to walk through like a big plastic tube like on E.T.?
No. You don't walk, but you walk in the opposite direction. Like the port's here, you're going
Away
there.
from the boat.
Exactly. You're going away from the boat towards this canopied makeshift medical tent.
Oh, wow.
I kid you not. And along the way, there are cast members kind of interspersed around the grounds watching you to make sure you keep your mask on and stuff. And they're saying positive things like, have a great trip. Like they're trying to keep your mind off of it.
Oh, so there are no Schnells. Schnell!
Yeah. Get him.
Smack it down.
One person doesn't make it past it, like, boop, boop, boop. And everybody attacks him. Like, oh,
They drag him away.
That's nerve-wracking. That's nerve-wracking.
Crazy. Like, yeah, it is. It's incredibly, like, I saw people like giving like kind of wistful glances to one another, wishing each other good luck. I heard one person say, "I love you. I'll be praying for you."
Oh my God. It's like Hogan's Heroes.
I kid
We'll
you
make
not.
it through the tunnel and escape this prison.
But what if we don't?
Make it to the east. Make it to the west and form the Allies.
George,
And
what to
then
say?
again, not like Auschwitz, but then they separated you by your stateroom numbers.
Oh my God.
I kid you not. They separated all of you, like, so you're saying goodbye to your family, kind of thing, and they hand each of
time
you.
out.
Yeah, go ahead.
After you've been in single file line with all the people,
Yes,
where you
And
could
on the
probably
bus.
catch
And on the bus
with
for
all
over
the
an hour.
people, and
Yes.
you could potentially catch it from any of the people. Then they separate you from stateroom.
yes.
Now you're
But
on your own.
keep in mind, you have your mask on this entire
On the
time.
bus,
though.
too?
So, yeah, even on the bus.
Oh.
You have to have your mask on, and they
But
will
even
yell.
still, there's a potential you could catch it with the mask.
Kev, they will yell at you if you take it. Like my daughter had her mask a little bit below her nose, and they fussed at her, and
They said, "Schnell!
and I.
What are you doing?
Put it back on!
So they hand each of you a biohazard baggie.
What?
I'm not kidding you.
This is like a Marine Corps recruit.
This is insane.
Put on the person blowing is in the baggie now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 30 seconds, 30, 20.
Like Chernobyl or something.
Do you understand why I'm saying it? I'm not saying it's like Auschwitz.
But it's got symptoms.
But there's like
similarities.
Yes. Inside the biohazard baggie is a label where you have to write down your name, your date of birth, and the date of your sailing onto the little label in there. And not only that, like you're filling out paperwork on the way over there because like
wait, the date of your sailing, isn't that kind of assumed?
You would think, but maybe I'm misremembering it, but it was like something like that. It was either the date of your sailing or your...
Oh, you see what he's saying?
Because at some point you cease becoming a person and you become a stateroom number.
914!
So, Danny, what was your number?
It was 10604.
You never forget your number. Come forward.
10604.
Just look at your arm where they tattooed it on you, Danny.
Oh my God!
You have a bar scan on your neck?
That would be,
my God!
It's going to be my any password info. Like if anyone wants to hack me, it's going to be 10604.
Danny, that's your first tattoo.
Yeah.
We got to get that.
I don't know about that. I don't know that I want to remember this that much.
You're like the Winter Soldier now. They're going to say the numbers and you like get up and like assassinate someone and go back to bed and not remember what happened.
He's going to recite a series of words?
Yes.
So within each of these tents are like even smaller tents. Like little canopy. Do you know like how like you would set them up like with the blue...
like a tarp,
like the tarp and stuff like that. But they each had like a curtain that they would draw. And so like... So within the medical tent, you would be led up, and your families were separated, and you would have to wait your turn to step into the medical tent to be examined. And every family the curtain got closed, and the family went in, and you didn't see them anymore.
Wow!
Because they didn't even exit back up. They went out the opposite way towards a separate tent. So. You were watching these families disappear one at a time, and again, everyone's just kind of shooting themselves these looks, and everyone's nerve-wracked and just kind of anxious, and then suddenly it becomes your turn to enter, and all of a sudden they open the curtain, and there's this person there with the mask, and she's double-checking your IDs, because at this point in time, you've had to present your ID several times, you've had to give your stateroom number several freaking times, and you're presented with these swabs. All right,
for your nose.
Yes, and you're instructed to put these nostrils into your nose.
Swabs into your nose. Yeah,
both nostrils, and you got to swirl them around, and you count to 5. All right, you swirl around the nostril, and then you do one nostril, and you do the second nostril, and you put them into this little mixture. You swirl that around,
right? Yeah,
and then you put it in your biohazard bag with your filled out ID, and then you seal that up. With the Ziploc baggie, you seal up the Ziploc baggie and you hand it to them, and then it goes in for testing.
It's funny. I did the same thing at Tulane, but without the baggie.
Just get all that pixie dust. Get all that pixie dust out of there.
Hey, Danny, just real quick.
Huh?
Longing, rusted, 17, furnace, 9, benign, homecoming, 1, freight car.
You say you do feel a little bit like the Winter Soldier.
Okay, good. Nothing happened.
Yeah,
we're good. We're good. Nothing happened.
We don't know when it's supposed to happen.
Oh, snap!
It might happen at 10,
What's the
12 in the evening. Oh, in the morning.
Is there a cancel word? I got to cancel this.
Yeah.
What's the cancel word?
Butter cakes.
Because here's the one good news about all that. That's one thing I remember. I realized when we stepped in there was that they were handing you your swab to do it yourself.
Right.
So you could have swabbed your butt and it would have been all right.
What?
I don't know.
How you expect a COVID test out of an ass swab?
This thing is negative.
This is not working.
It's positive for a lot of fecal matter. I don't understand what's going on here.
Sir. Your nose, dude. I don't know what you're up to.
I don't know what's wrong with this family, but they shouldn't get on this boat, damn it.
Sir, you need to stick your whole head in this biohazard bag, sir.
Oh, snap.
So for a brief moment, as this woman's futzing around and she's on the computer and she's trying to get our information, so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Like, I felt relieved for a moment. I'm like, I don't even have to really do anything. I'll pretend I'll do, and then boom, here you go.
Okay,
so
that's a good point. Yeah,
I'm feeling good, but then all of a sudden I start thinking to myself, I'm like, well, wait a minute. What if it comes back and there's no trace of snot or whatever the they're looking for on there. So, sir, we're gonna have to retest you again, and now you're getting the full Roto-Rooter treatment up your nostrils, and they're testing both of them. Like, so I was like, no. I'm gonna be gentle but I'm going to be quick. You know, like, so, like, you know how you do one Mississippi? There was no Mississippis.
That's all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Danny, that's all I ask from you.
Oh, well, that's all I promise. 5 seconds of bliss. That's all I promise.
I just want gentle but quick.
That's all I ask of you, man. That's all I promise.
It's gentle but quick.
Yeah, it is. And then because I didn't want the Nurse Ratchet, Roto-Rooter thing.
Nurse Ratchet.
Yeah, I did it, but I did it ever so gently, ever so lightly. I kind of did it, but
Talk about self-loving.
Yes.
Self-care.
But that's a good call, because if let's say they had called you back and everybody else had got on the boat, you again could have either been left or had forced everybody else to leave.
Yeah, you
the
could have
boat
gotten that principal from Matilda to
because
do
they
it.
had a false or
to your
false
point,
positive.
like Lily, when she did it, she didn't realize what she was supposed to do, so she accidentally touched the swab. She touched the swab, and the woman was like, "What are you doing? No, you don't." Like, the woman kind of lost her stuff for a minute there, and I was like, "No, give it to me." And I did Lily's, and I did Lily's the exact same way I did mine. So I knew if anyone was positive, it would be my wife, and then we could blame her. No.
Well, she would win. She's like the one for the gas.
Yeah, she's the one person in the family who can get away with being like,
totally,
"Shut up,
whatever."
I know, just
you with my purse.
So what?
Well, it's whatever. Yes, ma'am. Okay, go ahead.
So anyway, they take the swabs and then they swirl it around this little solution. They put it in these little plastic baggies that you filled out and stuff like that.
Right.
And then they escort you out the back way of these little makeshift tents to another tent, which serves as kind of a waiting room where everybody's there.
I'm about to say it's like a holding tent.
It's like a holding tent.
So if you were positive before or negative before, if somebody was positive, you could definitely catch it there.
Sure, 100%. And then at the front of the room of the tent are like 2 monitors, one with a TV on it and one with numbers on it.
Oh my God!
Yes, I kid you
Did they
not.
broadcast who got into the boat?
Well, they're giving you the again. We didn't go over there because we were told that you could go ahead and refresh your phone, and your phone you would get an email telling you this. If you didn't get the email, you could go ahead and check your Safe Passage website.
Okay.
And they would tell you whether or not you're positive. And then thirdly, yes, you can go up there and check your number for your, I guess it was your stateroom or whatever it was. You'd go up there and check that, but no one was doing that.
That's
No
like
one-
American Idol or
No.
something. Where they
Unlike
wait.
the virtual crew, where virtual queue, where everybody would cheer when they got like a virtual queue number, was everybody like, "Oh, I got in," and they hit it, and we're like,
No.
well, let's walk over this way."
You looked around, there were a bunch of people furiously refreshing their email. Their knees are shaking. They're kind of like, they're looking back and forth. They're reloading the app. They're doing all this stuff.
Look, they were masturbating. Yeah. Okay.
And like, no one was even looking at the front board.
Yeah, I don't even do that either when I'm in. I don't look at anything else.
Well, I know you like eye contact. Yes.
Oh my
Only
God.
with Eli. It's okay.
I got nothing to say.
No, you shouldn't. Just stay quiet. It's okay. That's all I need you to do. Damn it.
Whatever you tell me. Oh my God, pick
Just
a
stay
number.
quiet. Damn it.
So my sister and her family were they were the first ones to get their results.
Okay.
And they were all cleared.
And they're in a different stateroom, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. They're in
They
the
hauled
different...
ass and got on the boat. We're like, "See ya."
No. They sat still.
Okay.
And then my mother and my father, about a minute later, they get their results.
Okay.
Boom. They're clear.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So now all of us in the Magic Our Way Pleasure Island Facebook group, you had posted that you're taking the test.
Yes.
And we're anxiously waiting to see how your crew does.
Yep.
We didn't know this part where your parents went on, your sister and their family went on. And
No, they didn't go on. They got the all clear.
And the
they're
last
looking at
group
us.
is you guys.
Because remember, it's all for one for all. We
Yes.
don't go on without one another.
And it comes down to Danny's family.
Oh,
So
the
we're
head-
sitting there,
Okay.
we're checking everything, we're looking at everything, nothing's coming up. People are even looking at us like, are you checking your inboxes? Are you checking all your inboxes? Are you refreshing the app? They're looking at us like, you're not doing everything. And maybe it's just maybe me and Mana, like you feel that pressure because they're all clear.
You're the last ones. You're
We're the
it.
last ones.
Oh, my God.
And about 5 minutes pass and we still don't have our results.
Oh, my God. Stop.
And yes, I'm
No.
not kidding. So the talk amongst the rest of them starts turning into, well, what do we do if they test positive?
Come
And my sweet niece, who we rebooked the trip
No.
for,
No.
who we made sure we're paying extra to go on this cruise because we could have gone to Mardi Gras and paid less, but no, we're paying extra. She shakes her head and she goes, I'm getting on that boat.
Oh, not the innocent one.
Oh, how old is she?
Oh no!
Oh my God, she's a senior in high school. So she's 17. She's not even.
Oh,
no!
Oh my God, that's
I was
incredible.
not expecting that.
And just like that, all for one disappeared in a hurry, and it went from all for one to you better not f this up for the rest of us.
You are your own.
She's probably thinking, I got grandma and grandpa. Screw you guys. I'm sorry. I love you at Christmas, but let's go. We gotta go.
No one said that. But
Okay.
that's how it felt. All of a sudden, my wife screams out of the blue, "We're cleared!" And I don't even have an email yet. And I'm like furiously refreshing. I'm like, "Show me! What are you seeing?" Like I need.
I think with your wife, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, my wife
cleared.
but my wife's not. She's technologically challenged. So I'm like, "Show me." She shows me. It looks clear, but I have to see it on my phone. So I go ahead and I'm looking. No email. I check the web. And finally, boom! It shows up cleared to sail, and I just jump up and I'm like, "Let's get the out of here, away from all these sick people. You're gonna stay a boat." And so we walked out of the tent, and that was the highlight of the trip. I gotta tell you.
Where's your luggage at this point? Is it
The luggage is the luggage is being loaded on the ship. Yes.
So you think it took long?
And by the way, we were also the only ones who didn't get our luggage tags. Everyone else got their luggage tags.
What's up with that? I remember you saying about that.
Talk to Las Vegas.
Wait a minute, now, let me be clear. You're the only one. You're the only family of the three that didn't get the tags, right?
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know.
Lee, where's your mic? Where's your mic? I can't hear you, but Lee, where's your mic, Lee? Where's your mic?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You don't know where your mic is. Where's your mic?
It happened. It happened. It didn't matter when we got to the port. And Lee had even texted me like, if you don't get your luggage tags, no worries, they'll give you. And they did. As soon as we got to the
I know it wasn't
airport.
a big deal, but it just was weird because I had specifically asked on our agency page, because before what would happen pre-COVID is you had to make sure that you were on top of it, because the Disney would send the tags to the agency. Mm-hmm. And then the agency would have to turn around and send them to us, and then we would have to send them to you. It was just a whole process. So it was a dumb process anyway. So sending them directly to you makes more sense.
Yeah.
But like I was double checking, triple checking, like what's going on, and they're like, well, if you don't get it, it's not the end of the world. You just print them up there. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, okay, cool, but. Like, where are they? It's like...
I want my commission!
Oh, that was what I posted in our Facebook group. I was like, good news, Lee, you get to keep your commission.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it. And Lee posted like some orangutan dancing or something. It was funny. But, I mean, that was the highlight of the trip. If you want to ask me what the highlight of the trip was when we all knew... After weeks, if not months, if not years of speculating if this is ever going to happen, that this trip was really going to take place. That was the highlight of the trip.
That's
Nothing could have been any... And I feel bad for saying this, but the day this happened... I'm a New Orleans Pelicans fan. I love watching New Orleans Pelicans. Eli will tell you I've been watching Pelicans
basketball fans.
life.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. The
Pelicans
were playing the Clippers to see which team advanced to the playoffs. It was win or go home.
The play-in, yeah.
And that particular day, Paul George, the star, the best player of the Clippers, and I'm sorry, Clippers fans, I'm sorry, but Paul George tested positive for COVID and couldn't play in that game. So the line going on the ship from me was, what a great day. We don't have COVID and Paul George does.
Hey, he took one for the team.
That's right, he did.
He did. And God bless Paul George because the Pelicans won that night. Mm-hmm. More on that later.
Go Pels.
Yes, go Pels. And the Pels are in the playoffs.
I'll even throw in Go Breakers.
Yeah.
USFL, Go Breakers. They're 2-0. Here we go.
So that brings us to a trip ourselves.
Yes.
The trip itself.
That was a lot right there, though.
That's
First of all, that was a lot of drama. There was some betrayal there.
You feel my pain, right? That was a lot of stress. It was a lot of stress.
I felt that tense.
Mm-hmm. So it really was nerve-wracking. Like, seriously, you were watching people looking across the room, staring at each other wistfully like, oh, we're going to do this.
I hope you see on the boat. We'll have a drink.
Yeah, I took pictures of people, like, you would go through the cabin, like, when the ship had already sailed, you would still see those stateroom keys on the door. For the families that
I
didn't
remember.
make
Yeah,
it.
you posted that.
and I posted that, and I'm like,
you poured one out for them. guys.
pour one out for the homies that didn't make it. That kind of thing.
They were. Oh wow! So there was some people that got sent to the other side.
Yeah,
of the
he
tent.
posted in the group. It was crazy.
I can't prove it, but, I
didn't
mean,
show up.
Yeah,
Well,
they
when
didn't-
y'all set sail, that room was empty.
for whatever
According to your
reason,
picture, yeah.
we were in motion, and those key rooms were still sitting there.
So I got to tell you, it's like after you go through all that, you still have to go into the main terminal and check in.
Well, I mean, you get
Right.
that little like added boost because then all of a sudden now you're going onto the boat, and then there are cast members on either side of you, and they're applauding, and they're like, they're like, "Excuse me, kid, come here. What's your name?" Lawless. And they're like, the Lawless family.
Oh, yeah, when you board the boat. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
And you walk in there, and there's
It's like Hunger
Mickey.
Games.
Yes, and there's Mickey up there,
So
and he's
wait.
applauding for you.
Because I know when you go into the terminal, you check in, you get your cards, you get your lanyards and all that stuff, and you check into the resort. I mean, to the cruise, and then you go take a picture.
Yes.
And then you board the boat where they call your name, the Lawless family, the stuff like that when they enter the boat. So all that happened after you tested COVID.
No, it tested not COVID.
No, I mean tested not COVID. Yeah, it tested.
I don't. There was no. No, I'm sorry. You're right. We did take a photo before we go ahead and step.
Okay,
we
yeah,
step
yeah.
on the boat. So that is absolutely 100% correct. Yes.
Okay. So
Yes.
not only did you have to do the test, but you had to do all the check-in things, and then do the photo. Then you board in the boat where they call your name, the Lawless family,
Yes.
entering the Disney Dream.
Yes.
And there you are, right there in a main atrium of the boat.
And we're just guys, so I apologize. Yeah, I didn't remember that until you just said that. But
But I
that
can
is
understand
absolutely
how
true.
it's a blur.
You're
'cause,
cloud nine.
Yeah, you're cloud nine.
Yeah.
You made it through that harrowing experience, and then you have all these other check-in things to do, and you're just happy that you made it. So I can totally understand how you would have not even registered that, because it was just anything before that was just like blah.
100%.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Totally understand that.
So
how was that when they called your name when you boarded the boat?
Well, it wasn't like because we were the first ones on, so it was like kind of like it was a little unexpected. But after that, I got to video my mom and my dad, and I got to video Sandy and Aaron and them when they came on the boat.
Oh, that's great.
And so they have a keepsake of that. Whereas with us, it was like, oh wait, what? So it was a little it's surprising. It was unexpected.
Oh, that's
so
cool. Yeah,
I wish we'd had a second to kind of take it all in. It was like, oh wait, what? Again, we're just
It's
over
abrupt. Yeah, it's like right after you take the picture, you go on the boat, and then they announce you, and it's like, oh my
Yes.
God, I'm on the boat.
Yes,
Because you don't even notice.
and you're looking at that atrium, and it's just beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
just
Yeah, absolutely.
Beautiful. I mean, you're just standing there and you're soaking it all in. And
Do you see the chandelier when you look
oh
up?
God, yeah.
Isn't that thing gorgeous?
There's a tear that wants to come to your eye. It's like it's so.
Dude, that atrium, guys, is absolutely beautiful. I can corroborate everything that Danny's about to say about
Yes.
this entrance. Because I remember when they were building the Dream and they did the whole glass blown chandelier. It's just absolutely amazing.
It really was, and it was something where whenever you visited in the port, you just felt whole again. Where whenever you were in that atrium area, I mean, because a lot of times the princesses, the characters, they were all there.
Yeah.
Stitch and Belle and then Tiana and Aurora, they were all in that. Not Aurora, Cinderella. They were all in that atrium. So I mean, the atrium kind of became a special place.
It was like a hub almost. Yeah.
For more reasons than that, and I'll get to in a sec. But you walk in the boat, they announce you, and you feel great and everything like that. And the first thing you're told when you come on board is that you have to do muster, which is something that, again, if you're not
familiar with cruises, yeah.
muster is like a safety.
do that word.
I like mustard. Mustard's good.
Yeah, especially in the conservatory with the wrench.
Colonel Mustard.
Or on a hot dog.
And they're like, so that's the first thing when you did. They want you to report to your muster station so that way you can learn the thing. And then we're just too... we've heard too much serious shit at this point in time. We just want to move on. We just want to go on. Like, we want to see our rooms. That's really what it is, because that was a thing.
Y'all had to go straight to muster before you go see in your rooms?
No, we didn't. We had a choice. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay,
We
okay,
just
gotcha.
say, screw this. Let's go see the room, because your stateroom keys are right there by your room. So we're
Yeah, because
like,
you got to know your room before you know where the muster is. Yeah, that
Exactly.
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
so that's what
Well,
we went and did.
that's thanks to the Titanic that you have a muster now, because that did not used to be a thing that you have to do.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Oh, a moment of silence to all the Titanic survivors,
Yes.
of which there are very little.
I don't think there are probably any anymore.
Okay, anyway,
Are
yeah.
there? I don't know.
Okay.
Rose? No? Okay.
Been a
Sorry.
long.
So you're on the boat.
The rooms were the first disappointment upon being on this boat.
Well, especially if you're used to like Disney hotel rooms. I mean,
Yes.
They're cruise ship
any
rooms.
ship, they're not big.
So that's the thing. Like, I knew they were supposed to be smaller because you hear that all the time, is that the cruise rooms are just very, very small. And
No, wait, back
Disney-
up a second. So what kind of rooms did you have? A balcony?
We
Did
had
you
a
have
veranda.
porthole? Veranda, okay.
So we thought we had paid to have the bigger rooms,
Okay.
which we did, right, Lee?
What you did, yeah.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
But when you're 6'2", 220, bigger is very subjective, and so yeah, that room was no bigger than any average room you would get at the Holiday Inn. It was,
It's tight.
Yes,
I mean, my family's like a family of 5'8", and that's the max.
you feel like you're in the land of the Lilliputians. Yeah, you feel like you're Gulliver, and I totally get it. This is grand by cruise ship standards, but this is my first cruise ship, so
Yeah, no, it's tight. No, I'll be honest, it's tight.
the first thing you got to know is upon entering, you'll have to figure out why none of the lights work.
Oh, right. It's true.
We thought maybe like being on the boat, like maybe the boat had to be in motion or something for the lights to come on, but it didn't make sense because why do you have to wait until that time so you could comfortably piss in the light? Why do you have to piss in the dark? It didn't make any sense. It was like an escape room game. We're searching for clues. We're clicking every switch. We're doing anything we could think to do. My family's texting back and forth. Like, what are you finding? I don't know. Like, how do we turn the lights on?
Well, as Catholics, when you piss, that's concentrated evil coming out of your thing. So, yeah, there you
I
go.
tried to call guest services, and then my tiny little phone with the tiny little jack, I ripped the phone out of the wall.
Wow.
I'm not kidding. 3 times that happened, by the way. So anyway, credit to my daughter who found a slot near the wall and reasoned that was a perfect fit for an ID card. My 11-year-old figured this out.
Oh,
She's getting
wow,
good at
what?
the escape
Yes,
rooms.
there were adults working on this.
Hey.
She's good at riddles. She's good at escape rooms, and she figured out that if you slit the cape, and then boom, the lights came on.
Wow.
And
Wow.
we sent word out to the rest of the family. Just put your key in there. Lights come on. You're good to go.
I'll be honest. The last time I cruised on the Dream was the 2018. I don't remember having to do that. That's interesting. Yeah,
I'm telling you, I've
that's
got
wild.
a picture of it because my wife sent it out to everybody and said,
That's
"Stick your
weird.
key card in there. Lights come on." The TV is about the size of your microwave.
It is. It's
Oh,
true.
that ain't gonna work.
It's funny you say
Yeah.
work because sometimes it works and sometimes it don't.
Don't you have to put a key in the TV or something?
No,
You got to put something else in the TV.
that
to
would
make
be.
it work.
Mustard?
No.
It all depends on the reception. It all depends on where you're at. So sometimes TV works, sometimes it doesn't work. But that's neither here nor there because they only have a handful of channels. There's like 17 channels, and 2/3 of them are Disney channels.
Yeah, that's true.
A third of them are just boat features. Go to this, go see that. Here's the weather. Here's this. Here's that. The only thing that was non-Disney I remember was CNN. That was it. Everything else was Disney stuff.
That makes you
But you had the app, right, with the navigator, yeah?
Yeah, I had the app, but I mean, the app was also kind of a little bit selective.
It was, yes.
But I mean, the point being is that after a long day of soaking up Disney movies and songs and TV shows, you'll be happy to know that you can take a break from all this by heading back to your room and watching even more Disney songs and TV shows and movies.
Well, they got to brainwash you, know. Yeah, they got to keep
It
going.
is the dream. It is.
Now, the beds,
So for giants like us,
giant, you and I are in
it's
this
not
world.
gonna work.
No.
It's good for me.
It's not comfortable for yes. So we had one queen size bed in the room, which really it doesn't really work for a family because I'm 6'2", 220. Like I said before, I can easily take up 60 to 70% of a queen size bed, depending about how much I've sprawled out.
Yeah, your wingspan.
And my wife, well, God bless her, but she doesn't like anyone or anything touching her while she sleeps.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yes, she needs complete and absolute
Isolation?
Yes, isolation
Okay,
while she
interesting.
sleeps, which is why we've always owned a king size bed. But the point being is that there was only one full size, well, not full size, one queen size bed.
She had the bunk, or what was
No,
that?
no.
What did she have? Lily, I'm talking about.
So, in order to accommodate my wife and accommodate the whole situation, my wife and my daughter got the queen size bed.
Did you get the bunk?
I got the pull down Murphy bed.
Oh, with the Peter Pan
How
or
did
whatever.
you fit on it?
I didn't.
I'm about to say, how the hell did you fit?
I was hanging off of that thing. It was crazy, dude. It was like, it was not.
You just gone and slept on the veranda.
Yeah, at least he had all 5 limbs hanging off of that thing.
I mean, I really have this vision.
I don't know why.
Of you like on a toddler car bed.
Yes,
basically. Like
that's the cost of being a caring husband and father.
My kids slept on those little bunks.
I was gonna say
they were fine.
So Lily was too tall for that bunk.
Lily
she just
at
wanted to be
11. Like my wife's itty bitty.
Yeah.
Lily at 11 is taller than my wife.
Yes, this is true.
No,
Right.
yeah,
She just want to be with Mama, right?
That's what I was
Or
trying
she
to.
wanted a bigger bed.
She likes comfort. We raised no fool.
No, yeah.
She likes comfort, and so she snuggled up next to Mama.
But Danny got...
You got the smallest bed.
Dude, I can't fit on that
To
bunk.
be fair, that's how it is at home. My wife and I used to sleep in a big bed. My kid got in the bed one day. I ended up upstairs, and me and my wife looked at each other like, this works. Separate bathrooms, separation. Like it's the old saying, how can I miss you if you won't go away?
Yeah, but your bed is not the size of a matchbox.
Yeah, I was to say that pull-down bed is not the size for you.
So yes, that was a problem.
Yes.
And I'll be...
I couldn't fit on that thing well.
I'll be nothing but courteous to
I'm
my wife.
shorter you guys.
She gave me one day on the big bed. So my wife slept on a little bed one time. She got the big bed twice. I got the big bed once.
Yeah, you must have been like
Luckily-
grumpy as hell.
So y'all didn't make the best of the big bed, though, I guess, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, y'all made the best of the big bed?
No, we did not. We did not.
Oh, shit.
Yo, go take that key card out of the slot, baby.
Yeah. Well, she kept doing that. But that was a funny thing. Is like, when you let's say you got to pee at 3 a.m.
This has happened.
You have got to go ahead and figure out how to keep the lights on with the key card in there, but shut off all the lights in the room.
Yeah, I'd take
Which
the risk.
sometimes it's not as easy as it sounds to find all the switches that shut off all the lights.
Oh, I see
So
what you're
it's a
saying.
little bit of a thing.
You could make enemies really quick with a room like this.
It's like Russian roulette, though.
Well,
I
let
mean,
me
you want
get
to
to-
take the risk.
Let me get to the bathrooms.
They're dual bathrooms. All right.
If you've ever enjoyed the experience of using an airplane bathroom,
Okay.
and you're like, man, I wish I could do that like for 3 days in a row, man, are you in luck?
Oh man, I've been dying for that
Because
opportunity.
The bathroom area is split into 2 separate bathrooms.
It is.
With their own doors, and there's one bathroom, and all it has in it, and it's about as big as an airplane bathroom.
It's a closet.
All it has in it is a toilet and a sink.
Sink, yeah.
And a
That's it.
sink.
Yep.
Yes. And as a man, you've probably learned to keep the lid itself up and the seat down, right?
Yeah.
So that way, because God forbid a woman ever have to look down before she pees.
Yes.
Yeah, so they'll lose their mind. So,
Yeah, but see, I'll leave the seat up because I want them to know that I didn't piss on the seat.
well, you see, if you do that, then women fall in the seat.
Well, they
and
need
then
to look freaking down. I'm sorry.
Well, you don't care, Kevin.
No, but I want to reassure them that I did not
You take those.
sprinkle on that seat.
You take those emails.
I know.
Yeah.
I'll take those emails all day. I'll argue that all day. It's
Right
like,
into
look, if you
magicoutway.com.
want guarantee that I did not tinkle on your seat, let me leave the damn seat
Tell
up.
Kevin why he
Let me leave the damn seat up.
why he need the toilet seat.
I do that at work, and my department's majority women. And I do that because I want them to know that I didn't do anything on that seat.
Kevin, that's why I live
Can I tell you
alone.
something?
It's 'cause
They're talking about you in the break room.
They
just
are.
so you know.
they're like, good thing you're a good worker. I want him out of here.
I like to think that they think I'm so fine and it's okay.
It took me a while. Like the first time I used that bathroom, it took me a long time because I'm searching. I must have searched the room 3 times, which again doesn't take long.
No.
And I'm looking everywhere for a switch, and it took me a while to realize that you had to close the lid, not the seat, the lid.
The lid, yeah.
In order to find the hidden flush mechanism behind the toilet seat.
This
It's like
is
it's like an escape room.
This
Yeah.
is like an escape
It
room.
is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the minute you see it, your bowels just shut down. Like, I ain't using this the entire trip. Like, there was one point in time we went downstairs, we saw the Enchanted Garden bathroom. Like, yeah, if I need to use the bathroom, I'm coming down here. Because they had the luxury suite.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, they had all
Pro
the-
tip.
Yes.
That's a good one.
That's like a restaurant.
Well, the crazy part is that that bathroom is bigger than most cruise ship bathrooms. So if you can imagine an even smaller bathroom than that, say on Carnival or what have you. So
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
but
man, it's tight. Those rooms are tight.
Yeah, you got to be
It's
in
just part of the cruising, I guess, It's not really part of the experience,
Sure.
but it's just the way it is with cruising. You know, it's like you really don't want to spend much time in the room. If you
But
can
that's the
avoid.
thing is like the Disney's doing that a lot with their rooms. Like I know the renovations to the Wilderness Lodge, they're doing the whole thing with the raised beds so you can fit luggage underneath, and they have the dual bathrooms. So they're doing a lot of that kind of stuff similar to what they do on the Disney cruise.
Well, the Leaf's point, like, is like he's right. Like, the minute we were in the rooms, I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like, it was so claustrophobic. Again, you just feel like you're so like the second bathroom is slightly larger than the first one,
But not by much.
but not by much.
Not by much, you're
and then
right.
you got to remember to step up to get into the shower, and
You have to earn that shower,
And then and then again, if you're 6'2", I mean, every morning, dude, I'm walking the shower, I'm stubbing my toe, I stand up, I hit my head on the friggin' shower head, I turn around, I'm banging my elbow. They give you a tube to shower in. And the first morning, I must have uttered so many obscenities. My wife was like, "We heard you through the wall." The shower ranged in temperature. Like, I couldn't even figure out how to work that because you're trying to work that thing, and it's
Yeah,
either
that's
hot as
strange,
hell
yeah.
or cold as f***. You can't figure out any middle ground without having to like sit there and show immense patience. It's crazy. It's just crazy. So I mean,
It's a test in patience, sir.
it is.
Wow.
It is. So, like, if you take all the worst elements of staying in a hotel, the Wi-Fi, the limited TV channels, the cramped living quarters, trying to figure out how to make work, multiply that by 1,000, and that's kind of like what it's like being in that room.
Wait, tell me, did you pay for the extra Wi-Fi for the Wi-Fi access?
I did more on that later.
And that's okay. I'm gonna say it for later, but
Traumatizing this man right now,
no,
bro.
but I'm gonna relate because I paid for it too, and we're about to we're probably about to join on the same opinion on that.
We'll touch tips right
yes,
after. It's
yeah,
over
yeah.
with.
We'll,
Yes.
we'll touch our tips together.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there you go. That's
Don't be
beautiful.
jealous, E. I'm sorry.
No, I understand. You need to comfort this man with all that he just went
I
through.
gotta take care of your friend.
Yeah,
I know you're all
yeah.
friends. It's like I
But no,
gotta do
give him a
both.
tip.
Hey, you got two hands, dude.
Yeah,
Come on.
you know.
I do.
You want some,
I
some
do.
spray on it or something?
No.
So after checking out the rooms and experiencing that disappointment, we decided to go ahead and head up for our muster station.
So this is before the boat even launched out of the port.
Before the boat
They're
even
still loading.
launches.
Did y'all have lunch? Did y'all grab lunch?
Yeah,
before?
yeah, we did. We went to Cabanas.
Well,
Yeah.
Y'all do that before muster or after?
No. We want to get mustard out of the way.
Okay, that makes sense. I
We
can
want to
see
get
that,
mustard
yeah.
completely out of the way because I mean it's the one thing that they do require you to kind of
Yeah, you got to do.
yeah, you got to do it.
You got to know where to go to get the lifeboat. And
By now, I'd figured out how to check into the app, so that way,
navigator.
I knew we were on the ship and everything like that. And they asked you to check in. Are you on the ship? Okay. Now, are you using the Disney Wi-Fi? Yes, we are. Okay. And then it kind of it starts up. So when I got to the muster station, I realized very quickly that all you had to do was just take your phone and hold it up to the little sign because we were in muster station L or L station, whatever you want to call it. And I scanned it, and boom, they sent me a video. And lo and behold, to my extreme delight, I was like, oh, we don't even have to be here. We just scan the sign. We go wherever we want to go. We go back to the room if we want to. We can go to the bar. We can go to the pool. We can do whatever we want to do. We just got to watch this stupid little video.
that is awesome because the last time I did that in 2018, but prior to COVID, there was a bunch of us mustered there in our sections with our lifeboats. With a life vest, I mean, we didn't need our life vests. That we had to be. We're in a crowd of everybody. So because of COVID and all those protocols, all you had to do was scan something to watch a video to know what to do if something were to happen to the boat to board your lifeboat. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
That is awesome.
I felt like we had to actually physically put on our life jackets.
You went,
Did
Lee?
you?
No,
Well, not on a Disney cruise. Just I've gone on.
that was Carnival.
I've gone on a cruise before.
And Lee,
Yeah,
to your
no.
point, when I did my honeymoon back in 2007, which would be 15 years ago today. I mean, 15 years ago this Thursday. That we're recording this show.
Congratulations.
The last time I did that on the Wonder, we had to do it with our lifeboats. But when I went in 2018, we didn't need our lifeboats. But we were in there with the crowd of everybody that was supposed to be on
Yeah.
that boat with our stateroom. So that's interesting that Danny
It
said
is.
that because that's a complete change.
Yeah, dude, I ran over to all my family. I was like, dude, don't even worry about talking to this cast member. All you got to do is scan the sign, and we're good to go.
Was it a QR code? You could have took a picture and sent it to your family and said that we were good?
You couldn't do that. You actually had to physically scan. Well,
interesting.
maybe I'm
Okay.
mistaken, but that's what I appreciate. But I'll put you like this. After 5 minutes, I'm like, why aren't we moving? And I look over there, and there's my family, and they're still trying to scan this sign. And I go over there, and I'm like, what's going on? Well, maybe I should have been a little bit more specific because they all have their cameras out and they're waiting for these, codes to come out because they have their cameras on the sign.
Oh,
it's not that they're not in the app; they're taking pictures of the sign.
Oh.
Well, I mean, because like when you go to the restaurant, that's what you do. You point your camera towards the scan, and it pops up.
Yes.
Well, at the restaurant? See, that's new since 2018.
No, he's 100% right.
That's COVID protocol.
In
Okay.
restaurants right now, in general.
You point at the QR code, and then boom, something pops up, and that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to get something to pop up.
Oh,
I was like,
I see.
No. You got to do it within the app. And my mom and dad were able to do it. My sister couldn't. There was something wrong with something, so she had to go to guest relations, and which called because she's worried about things aren't working right, so she has to go downstairs.
Like, Sandy, you got to get off the boat.
She's on the boat, though. She's on the boat.
She's on the boat. She's
on the
good
boat,
to go.
though. Sandy, you good?
But this is where we discovered the Vista Cafe.
Oh, tell me about the Vista Cafe.
Now, the Vista Cafe, God bless my brother-in-law. He does not.
Aaron.
He's
been on the show before.
He's like, let's grab a drink while she goes.
Damn, yes.
So we walk in. We're on the fourth deck, I guess is what you call it.
Yeah. Fourth deck. Yeah.
So we walk in there, and there's the Vista Cafe. And it looks very much like a coffee bar.
Wait, were you out toward the front or the back or the middle?
We're in the mid. We're about mid.
That's good. That's good.
We're
midship.
midship.
Okay,
midship.
good. Midship's great. Yeah.
So we see this coffee shop, but there's alcohol back there. So it's a coffee and bar in one. And so you can get a croissant or a latte, all from the same place. But I'm still not registering to myself that this is like a full bar. So I'm like, give me an espresso martini. And it ruined me from espresso martinis for my entire life because I watched them brew the espresso martini
they did the
in front of me. They did the little thing where they lock the little thing
and it squirts out.
and then they take the martini glass and they take it and they put ice in it and they fill it full of water and they sit it there and I'm like, what is this? I don't want to drink water. Didn't go. No, sir, we're just chilling the glass. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
what? I was like, this is next level stuff right here. Tell me more. And then they just take it and they just dump it out. Now the glass is nice and chilled. And they take the espresso and they put it in there and they mix vodka and Frangelico and Godiva, like white chocolate. They're just mixing this thing all. And I had the best espresso martini I ever had in my entire life.
Very nice.
Dude, that's awesome.
Never
Yes.
wanted to leave that place. I learned those guys' names before we left out there. They knew me. I knew them.
That is
was
awesome.
Beautiful. It's ruined me for espresso martinis from here on out.
That is
Another one.
awesome. And you made
Wow.
one of those for me tonight.
Yes, I did.
Before we
Yes, I did.
recorded. And I'm buying you an espresso machine at some point. I don't know if you have one, but I'm getting you.
Oh, do we have enough in the show budget?
No. I am buying you an
Oh.
espresso machine.
I was like,
My man.
you like
No.
you said, he's like playing
No.
it out. Do we have nothing? But no.
I am getting you an espresso
I got
machine
it
so we can
down.
enjoy the
Yeah.
Disney Cruise Line espresso martini.
If you do that, I'll make you a banana cabana.
Oh, no,
That good, huh?
that's guaranteed. I guarantee.
Okay, you had me with a good twist on it because I thought you were saying that they made a bad drink and they had to spoil on his. But okay, all right, good. I'm
Best
glad.
drink I've ever had in my entire life. Like espresso, it just ruined. Like
Wow.
we went to Vincent's last night.
Yes.
And Vincent's always had my favorite espresso martini. Of
course.
And it was compared to the espresso martini I had on that ship.
Espresso machine coming. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
So the very next thing happened and again, I got to give full credit to my wife. She knew enough to know that her husband was going to be, because my wife she can Disney or she can not Disney. And more often than not, she can not Disney. But she knew me, and she knew how much I was concerned about this COVID thing. So you know what my wife did? She booked me a massage at Senses.
Yes.
They got sisters on the boat.
He got
They have senses on the boat.
boat.
Eli. We got to go in the
and
cruise.
not
Eli.
just any senses. Like it's like a special senses. And she booked me for a bamboo massage.
Oh, did they spank you with bamboo or something?
No. They
What'd
wasn't
they
like
do?
no Singapore cane. No.
They stick the bamboo up your ass.
You got to tip extra for that.
Oh, that's like $400.
Oh, hey, okay, so
No. They take a large piece of bamboo and they proceed to roll you like cookie dough.
Oh,
You're like, oh my God, dude! Like, if they would have touched my belly, I would have been like, I was just
happy
so.
ending.
this woman, like, she massaged you, get the elbows, and she took that bamboo, and then she rolled out any tension that you had on your entire body.
Rolled out.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, the woman was a magician.
So because it sounds kind of painful, but
No,
It sounds awesome.
It was awesome.
Okay.
Roll me, baby.
I was done. I was jello. I was just.
Oh.
I melted into that table.
Roll me like a pie crust.
super senses, huh?
Super sensitive.
And then there were like these, like what they called, like, so like on the way over, I saw what they called the rainforest room.
Oh,
And immediately upon, like, I was like, what is that? And she took me for a tour, and I booked it for me and my wife.
was it a bunch of people spitting on you?
What? How did you get that?
I heard rainforest. I don't know.
I was like, this ain't the champagne room.
Oh,
This is a rainforest room.
yeah, but there's no sex in the champagne
If
room.
they spit on you in the champagne room, I ain't going to that club.
Yeah, then we go.
Rainforest.
The rainforest room,
Boy, funny.
it was like a series of rooms that offered different pleasures. I don't know how to describe it. They were
for
like
the ears for the.
they were like
side.
sensory showers, and they had like different settings and temperatures and smells and scents, and it was just brilliant. And then they had like these heated stone lounge chairs and a sauna and a steam room and a jacuzzi and like all these things, and I'm like done. But it was like $89 a person, I can't remember what it was, for two people.
That's not
And I'm
bad.
like, book it. Like,
So it was like for a blocked area, like a blocked hour or something like that. You do whatever you want.
no, you come back whenever you want. It's yours.
Oh, wow.
You get to indulge in it. And I'm telling you, like, there were 4 showers. There was like the rainforest, the water fun, the tropical thunder, and the cool mist experience.
Wait, Tropical Thunder?
Tropical thunder. And
Did Hulk Hogan come out?
each of those.
Yeah, brother. I'm going to give you a shower, brother.
You get the thunder in paradise, brother.
I get you that thunder in paradise, brother.
But no, you laugh, but it's kind of like some of the temperature, it would be cold, but then it would be hot, and then it would alternate. Like, you would stand in these showers, because trust me, I did. Not that day, but other days.
Which one?
All of them. All
Oh,
of them.
you
I
could
stood
do.
on-
You could do all of them.
And they had like 3 different, like, you could choose tropical rain or cold mist
Oh my
or
God!
southern storm or something like that. And like there
Or
would be,
hurricane, or tornado in Araby.
the colors would change, the scents would change, the pressure of the shower would change. It was just like, and then all of a sudden it'd be cold, but it would be hot, and then there was this some that were just pure cold.
Oh
It was
my
like-
God.
And I forced myself to go through all of them.
All right, so serious question.
Yeah.
Are they showers? Like you're naked in the shower? Or are you?
No.
Oh, you're not naked?
I had to talk to my wife about that because my wife and I were like, we had a couples massage, and now that's coming up later. And she's all like, well, we get naked and we put on a robe. And I, no, don't get naked because you got a whole shower section here. And in order to go experience it, this is bisexual. Well, that didn't sound right. This is for
It's unisex. Unisex.
yes, it's unisex, and you go ahead and use it. But you had to have the bathing suit on, and you would just stand in the showers, and you just wait, and you try all the different settings and stuff like that. And you can go in the sauna, and men and women would be in there. And don't get me wrong, like in the separate rooms, they had a men's sauna and a men's steam room, and a women's sauna and a women's steam room. But all the other stuff, the jacuzzis and whatnot, that was unisex.
Man, okay. Well, that sounds like after you had to deal with all the stuff with the cram shower in the room and whatnot, this seems like a breath of fresh air.
Oh, it was wonderful, dude. Like, I walked down to dinner because right after that we go to dinner at what was it, the Royal Palace.
Yeah.
So this is probably a good place to kind of sum up our dining experiences upon the Disney Dream.
Okay.
Which I'll be honest with you, I was worried about this originally. Because the Disney Dream has like these 3 rotational restaurants.
Okay.
Yeah.
And these 3 rotational restaurants are Royal Palace, Enchanted Garden, and Animator's Palette. By rotational, I mean like one night you'll get one, the next night you'll get the other, next night you get the third.
Yeah, so just to clarify that, if you've never been on a cruise, most cruise lines, you have one dining room you go to each night. You have the same servers every night. It's the same restaurant every night. They serve different types of food each night.
Yes.
But it's the same restaurant you go to every night. Whereas Disney Cruise Line, you have 3 different restaurants or however many the ship has, and then you go you rotate between those restaurants.
And you had the same servers though, and
100% correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
But you don't have one restaurant. You do 3 different ones.
And by the way, we did have the same servers, Van and Mabel. They followed us the entire time, so they're the entire time. But I have to say, I was worried when I found out that there were 2 premium restaurants aboard the ship called
Apollo and
the Remy and Apollo, yeah.
So I kind of suspected, but let's just say there would be a marketable difference in the quality of food. Kind of like the difference between eating at Narcoossee's or California Grill and the difference between eating at Be Our Guest.
Right.
And
nice, but not really nice.
we were 100% correct.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The food on the rotational restaurants was mid at best. Mid.
Okay, interesting.
Like portions of food was really
Portions were good. They would give you what you would want, but the
Plus,
quality...
you can always order more if you want.
Right. You wouldn't walk away talking about a particular dish. You wouldn't walk away talking about how wonderful the dining experience was. It was 100% mid.
Okay.
Just
I
mid.
can see that, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
that's not to say it was bad.
It's not bad,
You know,
yes.
it's not like you went to Tony's. You know, or anything like that. It just wasn't like you weren't blown away.
no, it was like prepackaged food. It was like frozen but defrosted patties of sort of like I had a tuna steak. You could tell like tuna doesn't look like that. I know tuna. I've had much sushi.
Was it cut in the shape of a fish?
No,
It was cut in the shape of a heart. It was a heart. It said, "I love you, Danny."
Super senses.
One of these days, hopefully we'll get my nephew on there because my nephew again. We talk about nickels and stuff. He's a food. He was
Oh,
sitting there
he'd be
telling us-
great, yeah.
There was like one point in time we ordered at one of the restaurants. I don't think it was. I don't think it was Enchanted Palace. I think it was. It was the Animator's Palate.
Animator's Palate.
And he's like, this caviar is fake.
Oh,
What
interesting.
they've done is
Okay.
they've mixed this with it, and he had a perspective on this that just blew the rest of us away.
Right.
So I mean, hopefully one day we'll have him on. He'll explain things a little bit better because he was just educating us all night long on how subpar
Yeah.
what we were experiencing was. So Animator's Palate was actually a little bit less than the rest.
Interesting.
Because
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
at some point in time, they just start up a dinner show, and Crush is sitting there talking to you. And so now you got servers taking
Righteous.
your order while Crush is talking. You can't even pay attention to most of this shit.
Dude, eat that escargot, dude.
That's my cousin, man.
Suck down my cousin, baby.
I
He
hope
tastes
it's okay,
good.
man. He won't make it to the reunion.
Yeah, it's okay though.
It's all
bro.
right, man. What's your
I'm
name?
2,000 years old. I've seen many of them die.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Okay,
bro.
man. Save the world, bro.
But yeah, the food was mostly unimpressive. I mean, again, maybe if we were going to Remy Apollo, we would have a different experience.
Okay.
Yeah,
But-
I went on Palo on my honeymoon. That was pretty damn good.
Dude, that's the problem.
I
is
can
like
see that. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you got a
my
kid.
sister didn't want to abandon Emmy. We didn't want to abandon Lily.
Yeah, I
You got to be able to
understand.
get it. That's the other problem because if you've never cruised before, anyone that's cruised before you, they can get it. It's just like like the way Disney does. Like they can get it before you can.
Yeah,
Just
Unless you're on a
members and
honeymoon.
whatnot.
Yeah.
I could tell you,
Oh,
unless
really?
you're on a honeymoon, because like I remember I didn't even book Apollo on my honeymoon. I went on the Disney Wonder, and they called me. It's like, hey, you got a reservation at the Apollo. You can do because you're on your honeymoon. It's like, okay.
Hello.
I wasn't expecting to do it, but it's like in lieu of Pirate Night, I went to Palo instead.
I'll
Oh,
tell you
that's cool.
one thing that they're very big on offering fresh ground pepper.
Yes,
We
they
had
are.
as much fresh ground pepper as a human could possibly want. You could order 12 twists,
In your
8
martini?
twists, as many twists of fresh ground pepper. They were very big on, did you get enough fresh ground pepper?
like
Do you
the
want
ground
more fresh
pepper?
ground pepper? We got more fresh
Oh, you're from
pepper.
Louisiana. You like it spicy, yes?
Spicy, yes.
You want the spice, yes?
That's enough.
Shake.
That leads us to another section of this that we probably have to touch on.
Yes,
and,
touch
and,
it.
And that's the service.
Yes. All right.
Service is big for these.
Disney
days.
Cruise is known for the service. So
Okay.
what did you experience?
I've never had my ass kissed
Licked.
so thoroughly.
Licked.
Would
you say licked?
Filleted, whatever you want to say.
What?
Every cast member I encountered
Eli's intrigued.
was so unbelievably friendly.
This is
I
true.
have never experienced. This is service on a whole new level.
It's amazing.
Do tell.
So friendly. So friendly. Van, our waiter, he did magic tricks for the kids. he did riddles, and my daughter solved them all. Lily knew all his riddles. The magic tricks, I have a video of this, and he was good with what he did, but he engaged. He did puzzles with crayons, and that we'd all have to figure out and solve. And we actually solved one or two of them. Now that I think about it, when we all worked together, his assistant Mabel. She would take the children's menus and turn them into these beautiful origami creations for the girls, like boxes and swans and stuff like that. I mean, it was a next level of service. I mean, just getting beyond the restaurants. Like the bartenders remembered your name. They remembered your drink of preference. There was like this dude over at the Vista Cafe who I'd see every day named Ranwan. And every time I'd see him, you're like, Mr. Danny! And I'd be like, hey, Ranwan! And hey, Mr. Danny, can I get you an espresso martini? Oh, Mr. Danny! You just like, we just had I wanted to take that dude home with me.
Dude, I was like that with my room steward. I mean, did you get to know?
Yeah.
Your room steward? We got to know him, and he would do things like origami with the towels and stuff. It was crazy.
Dude, like the Cole from Jamaica. Like, there was no Jeff from Texas. Seriously.
Right.
No.
They were all Indonesia.
All from different countries, yeah.
Yes, Indonesia, Jamaica, Serbia. There was a dude from the Ukraine.
He had stories to tell.
I bet he got
All
a
over
lot.
the place,
I didn't even want to engage in that. But I tipped him extra.
Yeah,
I will say that.
For your people.
For the people.
Send it to your family.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, like, we thanked every cast member, and they put Disney service to shame.
Oh,
These people were so kind.
Those guys rock.
They were like, they kissed your ass to the point to where you're like, this is fake. There was like one dude who literally said to us at one point in time, and like he brought us an extra napkin because Lily spilled her drink, and we said, "No, thank you." Like, no, thank you. Your smiles are what I live for.
I like this guy.
Absolutely, yeah. Dude, it got to a point, like on my cruise, it got to a point where they knew exactly what my kids were going to order for drinks.
Thank you.
And they had it prepared right when before we even sat down, it was sitting at the table waiting for them, and that's exactly what they're going to order.
Okay.
Every night, Kev, we would like end up at a bar just talking to the bartenders, and they'd be like, "I got 6 months left. I haven't signed up for this, but I got 6 months." And I was like, it was kind of like a thing, like what they had like tours of duty. And you were like, rooting, like, well, hang with it, Ranwan, because you'll be able to. There was a dude from Serbia who introduced me to different scotches that I've never tried before. There was Anwar, who was at the Cove Cafe, and
that's amazing.
Seriously, and I know I'm probably mispronouncing their names, but they were just
they know who you are,
great.
though. Yeah, they're great.
Can tell you, and Eli knows this better than anybody at this table. My wife's drink of choice is Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels.
Thank
you.
And we always knew, like, we would go to bars, and we always knew when it was time to move on. You know why?
Why is that?
Because they only had one bottle of Jack Daniels, and my wife would literally drink the bar out of Jack Daniels.
I bet you they never ran out, right?
And we'd have to move on to a new bar that served Jack Daniels. So we met everybody.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
When my wife finished one bottle of Jack Daniels, time to move on to another bar.
I would have loved to see the look on that cast member's face.
They would say, "Hey, look, we're from New Orleans."
I'm so sorry, Miss Anybody know my Jack Daniels.
We're from New Orleans, yeah.
She's like, "You sure that rock can change your life?
Yeah,
change your life."
That is awesome, man.
Oh wow!
Dude, I'm glad to hear you say that because I remember my cast member experience when I went on the cruises was just like next to they just knew everything. It was above and beyond Disney service.
100%, Kevin. You couldn't be more right. The experience on the Disney Cruise Line is second to none.
Yeah, it's like I know. At the end of our cruises, like we always took pictures with our servers because they just got to know us so well.
Yes,
it's amazing how well they knew us. They knew what to do, when to do it, and it was like. The kids were happy, and it's like, man, you guys are crazy.
It's a beautiful experience.
It's incredible.
You gotta realize too, that they're all working with each other for 6 months, 9 months at a time too.
Yes.
So like there's a flow and there's a teamwork, and there's like just like they know you, they know each other as well. So that's why they have you have the same servers every night so that they can continue with that and work together.
Well, look, I tell this story every time on the show. It's like when I first went on my honeymoon. It's like our server and the sommelier, it's like our main server at dinners and stuff was our, we got to know her. We took pictures with her. And then.
Oh, you ran into her?
Yeah, we ran into her. And that was 2007. And in 2018, we boarded the Dream. And it's like, we're like, you look familiar. And we talked to her. And it's like, were you on the Wonder? And this, such. She's like, yes, I was. I was just a waitress back then. It's like, you were a waitress on our honeymoon. This is our family. And it was just like a story that just like came back. And she's now like a upper echelon officer.
A tale as old as time?
Yeah, it's like a tale as old as time. She was an officer. She was in charge of a lot of things. And she was greeting y'all as we came in. It was like, hey, welcome to the Stokie family. And it was like, we saw her. It's like, wait a minute. I know you. You were Canada. Your husband was from the Middle East. You got married at the time we got married and stuff. It's like, man, we remember you. And it was like, yeah. She's like, yeah, I was on the Wonder. We talked about, I showed her pictures. It was absolutely amazing. The service on the Disney Cruise Line is like next to nothing in the parks.
Now we talk about that. Like one of the things that bears mentioning is that, so the first night on the boat, the Clippers were due to play the Pelicans at 10 p.m.
Okay, yeah.
And anybody who knows me knows I'm a huge New Orleans Pelicans fan. Eli will attest to that.
Absolutely.
And I'll be honest, I'm not a basketball fan, but I support anything New Orleans.
Yes.
So yes, I support the Pelicans. Absolutely.
I don't watch college.
Yeah,
when it comes to
neither
professional franchises, I will support professional New Orleans franchises.
Anything New Orleans.
And our goal that night was to watch the Golden Mickeys and then head back down to the room and relax and watch the game on our tiny little TV, right?
Okay.
Yes, that was what we had set to do. But we ended up losing track of time because on our way down, we realized the shops had finally opened because for one stupid tax reason or whatever it is. I don't know what it is.
Oh, they had to wait till they got out of into international waters.
They can't open the damn gift shops until the boat's at sea.
Yeah, once they reach in the international waters, they can shop duty free.
Right.
It's all good.
So the gift shop's all closed, and so we go in there, and I'm in line, and I'm checking out. My wife's like, oh my God, it's past 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock, whatever it was. And I was like, well, I'll stay here. You go ahead and see if we can get in there. And so she goes and checks. The doors are all locked. And I'm like, no, son of a we'll just check it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I mean, we wanted to check out the Golden Mickeys, but we couldn't check out the Golden Mickeys. But at the same time, I couldn't say I was all that disappointed. I'm not a big show guy. We ended up seeing Believe.
Yeah, it's Believe, yeah.
We'll get into that. Kevin, remind me to get into that later.
Well, I'll make sure, because I'm a big show guy. I know Danny's it, but I know the Pelicans are important to New Orleans.
Yes, it is.
And so, while he was on the boat, I was definitely checking it out here. Absolutely.
But I still had 2 hours, so I was like, all my kid really wanted to do once you got on the boat was check out the pool area. So we headed back to the room. We put our bathing suits on, and the first stop, of course, that she wants to hit is the aqueduct. Well, as fun as it is to ride the aqueduct, that cruise ship is traveling at about, 30 miles an hour?
At least, 30
At
knots,
least 30 miles an hour?
At least.
You're over 200 feet in the air at night. It's pretty freaking cold.
Yes. Especially the time you went. Yeah, absolutely. I can see that.
And my daughter and I boarded that aqueduct, and let me tell you something, I didn't see a single damn thing because all I could think about was, holy shit, this is freaking cold.
So you're saying your nipples are hard the entire time. You could have cut glass.
I could have cut diamonds.
You could have cut diamonds.
Like, I should have stepped foot in the pool first. I should have
man.
what's the word? I should
Got
have
acclimated?
acclimated myself. Thank you, Lee.
I can
should
see
have
that.
acclimated myself to the temperature of the water before getting on this stupid aqua.
Should have just stayed with the tropical rainstorm and super senses just there.
It was fun, but at the same time, I got to tell you, there was a few points where it's kind of slowed down. And I'm thinking Harry Bernstein sent me something where it's like somebody got stuck in one of these things, and I'm like, oh yeah. I'm going to be stuck in a tube, and I'm claustrophobic as all hell, and I don't like that stuff. So the aqueduct was fine, but once I rode it once, I was done.
You were done, really?
I was
Okay,
done and done. My kid rode it 3 more times, but I was done and done. She rode my wife. She rode my niece. I think she rode it by herself. I mean, she rode that sucker.
She liked that, yeah. That sounds like me. I did that with my family, too.
So if you have a choice, do it during the day. I know it's more crowded. At night, that was a good thing about that deck. We own that deck. Everyone was at the Golden Mickey's.
Yeah.
We own the deck. There was nobody in the pool. We had all pools.
If I
All
could
the
add to
pools.
that, if you want to ride the aqueduct, do it when you're in port, when everybody's off the boat, and you decide to stay on the boat.
That wasn't true, though.
You can ride it as many times. It wasn't true for you?
No.
Dude, my God, it was like... I could walk into the aqueduct, no problem, as many times as I wanted to.
Dude, Kev, people were at the friggin' they were ready. They were at the aqueduct. They were in the pool
When y'all were in port?
when we were in port.
Oh, my God.
Now
Where'd y'all stop? Y'all stopped at Nassau?
more on that later.
Okay.
More on that later.
All right.
So it's around 10 o'clock, and we head back to our rooms because, okay, we did the pools and stuff. It was a little disappointing because those pools are pretty freaking shallow.
Yeah, they are.
I didn't realize that.
And if somebody poops in the little kiddie pool, then it's closed for the rest of the night.
I'll tell you this, we were there, we enjoyed the pool, but during the day, those things were elbow to elbow. Those pools
I can see that, yeah.
were packed.
All right, so back up, Danny, real quick. You did a 3-day cruise, right? So one stop in probably Nassau, and then one that's Castaway Cay, and that's it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so we got that.
There we go. So this is still the first day. We're still in the first.
This is still the first day. You just
freaking
left
night.
Port Canaveral. You just left. You're on your way
Wait,
to
you
wherever.
did all of that stuff, the senses and all that. That was all in one day.
I was all in one day.
Oh wow!
And we still had the top deck to ourselves.
Okay.
Talk about it.
Everyone was at the Golden Mickey's, and we had a good time, even though it was cold as hell. But we were the only people in the pool, so it was nice. It was cool. I checked the time. It was 10 o'clock. It was time to go watch the Pelicans play. So I'm like, all right, gotta go.
So wait, Danny, by top deck, you don't mean the adult section of the boat?
No. I
Oh,
don't
so
mean
it's
the
totally
dog.
different. Okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Just
with
the
all
top
the
deck.
heat.
No
doesn't
Lido
have.
deck. No Lido deck.
Yeah, because in Disney Cruise, there is a place where you just have adults. Mm-hmm. Because I remember that from my honeymoon.
yeah.
No kids are allowed in that front section of the boat.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
right.
bullshit.
Their own bar, they had their own pool, everything else.
That was a problem, and I felt bad for Lily because it's like she was neither here nor there. She was neither fish nor fowl.
Right.
It was like, you're too old to enjoy the young kid stuff, but you're too young to enjoy the older kid stuff.
Yeah, she couldn't go in the teen clubs, right? She wasn't old enough to do that.
No, she could go in the teen clubs, but she was a little too young for the teen club. So she didn't really feel comfortable there. But then you put her in the kids clubs, and
Yeah, she's too old for
Too old
She's
for
too
that.
old.
Yeah.
So
She's
again,
in between. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
neither fish nor fowl. That's yeah. So at about 10 o'clock, we headed to we head back to the room to watch the game on a little tiny TV, and of course, there's no Pelicans game on either the ESPN channel.
What?
I was gonna say you only said it was like 7 stations. I was curious as to how that.
But there was 2 ESPN sections, and you're like, I'm sure it's going to be on one of these. But once you realize it wasn't on there, and it wasn't on ABC, you knew it wasn't going to be on the other 16 channels, and now I'm mad. And
understandably.
I totally look, guys, y'all are judging me. I understand that. But I got to tell you, I've been supporting this team for 6 months. And this is the one game where it's win or go home. I just wanted to see it. So my wife, who's a genius, says to me, hey,
Your wife is a genius.
she's a genius plus.
I don't. Oh, she is.
Yeah.
With
Plus.
Lightning Lane extras. I
Yes.
would pay for that. Lightning Lane.
My wife gets the idea, well, why do we have to
you.
stay here? Why don't we just go to a bar and watch it? Bless you. I'm like, dude, that's awesome, but we need a family-friendly bar. So we figure that the easiest way is to go to the top deck. where all the bars are, and then you got the best reception. So it's like, all right, let's go. And we went bar to 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 bar, and either they didn't have a TV or they did have a TV, but they weren't playing the Pelicans game.
Oh, you on a quest?
Finally, we went to a cast member like, we can't find it. And you're like, you know what you need to do? You go to the district.
Oh, the district, yeah.
Yeah, go to the district. We go to the district. And they didn't have the Pelicans game.
Oh, they couldn't get it?
Nope.
Did y'all ask them?
No, we asked them. The people at the district were like, you know what you need to do? You need to check out Pub 687. And fortunately, Pub 687 was like next door. So after checking out all the bars in the upper deck and going to the deck 4 and checking out the district, we go to Pub 687 and they ain't got no Pelicans game.
This seems like a
That
scam.
sucks.
This seems like a scam to get you to drink more. Oh, we don't have the game, but go to this bar. And then you drink some drinks there like, oh, we don't have the game, but go to this bar.
Well, you know what, Lee? Come to find out that all the bars on the ship have the exact same channels that we have in a room.
I was gonna ask you that.
I went to guest relations. I'm like, I know there's a way to get internet. I know we're at sea.
And you
but
paid for it.
Tell me there's a way. Like, yes, sir, there's a way to get internet. You just pay for it. So I go ahead and pay for the damn internet.
Oh, the extra internet. Okay, I see.
For price.
It's for
I'm
price.
desperate.
No, you're absolutely right. I did that too.
And they hooked it up. They got me internet, and I made my way back to the room.
Okay.
To watch the game, my iPad, which was probably bigger than my TV.
You did good. You did good.
I had my internet. I'm like, okay, we're gonna watch the Pelicans game, and every time I try it, it just stalled out.
No, it's satellite internet. It's terrible.
Kev, I tried it a few times. I tried it over and over and over again, and I realized very quickly that I already exhausted the limits of my paid-for internet TV.
No, I believe you.
My internet
I believe you.
access was already exhausted. So I purchased... I'm stupid. So I purchased an even bigger
Monet.
It didn't work, did it?
But no, it didn't work.
It didn't work. I guarantee it.
So I go back to guest relations. I tell them I'm trying to watch the Pelicans game.
They probably the third quarter by now.
And they tell me, well, why don't you just go to one of the bars on the ship, sir?
I hear Pub 187.
And I tell them, I'm like, there's no bar on the ship. They say it's an NBA playoff game. The game's going to be on the bar. And I say, no. And they say, yes.
Oh,
and
my
so I
God.
insist to them. I said, well, name a bar. And they name one. I said, I've been there. They name another one. I said, I've been there. They name another one. I said, I've been there.
It's not even on the main funnel, is it?
No.
It's not.
Not on the main funnel.
Not on the main funnel.
It was Frozen 2. Frozen 2 was on the main funnel, yes.
Thank God it was on Frozen 2.
So they pull out a binder, and they've got the entire TV schedule there. But no Pelicans on that schedule at all.
Oh, well,
No.
It just didn't.
no Pelicans at all.
So I explained to him that's exactly why I wanted the internet. I just wanted to watch the Pelicans. And the dude looked at me like I believed in fairies.
Did they give you a drink at least?
Because he's like, sir, you ordered the internet just so you could watch a game? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, sir, you realize it takes us 5 minutes to send an email?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They got satellite. Yeah,
I was just saying,
satellite email.
But like a satellite and everything. I mean, you're out in a boat.
Yeah,
Now,
but
I was not on the cruise, but I mean, you're out in open water. It's a clear night, so like there's satellites out there. They're sending the beam.
But Eli,
there's nothing in their way, right?
It's not military. It's not Elon Musk. It's not either one of those.
It's just,
I don't know what Disney Cruise has.
I'm just saying, like, even if you got like,
but time out. If it's anything like Disney Internet, period, when you're
It's
trying to
always bad.
book like
Okay.
ADRs,
that's
there you go.
That's fair. We have said Disney technology is not good, but I'm thinking on a cruise ship, like legit on a cruise ship, it would have.
No, you would think.
Yeah,
You would think. 100%.
Because there's nothing to block. Like you're on a boat.
You're on a
in
boat.
water. There is there is nothing to block. There's no big buildings to block a signal.
But it was on TNT. It wasn't on ESPN. And ESPN was like, no. We ain't giving you no TNT.
Even
And
if
to
you
corroborate what Danny is saying, is like in 2018 when I went on the cruise, I paid for that internet, the same internet that he did, and I had trouble uploading videos, so I ended up having to upload it separately than going live.
Can I?
It was terrible. I couldn't do it.
How much is the internet? Can I ask? Is that?
what is it now?
It was like $19.99 for I can't remember how many megabytes.
Yeah, mine was like 15.
All I can tell you is
same
that
amount.
I had killed the megabytes just in my first 3 tries.
Yeah.
You gotta visit.
Megabytes gone.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It was gone. It's gone.
It's extra.
Wow, I'm sorry you had to go through that part.
No, but I was crushed. 6 months of rooting for a team.
Yeah.
You want to see this last game. It's win or go home. Like, here I am, like, in my little dinky little fucking Murphy Pal.
Yeah, your little race car bed.
Yes, I'm
With the Peter Pan staring, she's like, "Hey,
yes, hey," and I'm sitting there while everyone else is asleep. So it was a quiet little celebration for one.
Awesome.
It's just me and the Pelicans pull out, and wouldn't you know, it went to the last minute.
Oh.
It went to the last minute, and the Pelicans pulled it out. I'm sitting there on my little dinky little phone, just refreshing Google like an idiot. And that's how I found out the Pelicans won.
it's
in my bed.
It's like sports masturbation."
Yes,
sure
by
you-
myself. Yes.
Yes.
You sure you didn't have to put a card in it?
He did put a card in it.
Man.
Yeah, Visa card.
Yeah, Visa card.
Damn,
Yeah,
man,
absolutely.
that's crazy.
So the Pelicans won. I could at least go to bed knowing we had won, knowing we moved on. I couldn't see all this stuff. Couldn't see the locker room celebrations. I couldn't see the player interviews. I couldn't see the highlights.
Wow.
No, I had to go to bed that night. I barely slept. But the next day we had Nassau Excursion.
Oh, did y'all do
Very
an
next
excursion
day.
in Nassau?
So now we're going to the next day.
Okay.
Now we had an excursion.
What
you know what
was
an
the
excursion
excursion?
is,
That's
right?
like you go scuba diving.
Excursion is like
Whatever
now
you want, yeah.
We
Off the
docked.
boat.
We're in port. We're in the Bahamas, and you can go do whatever you want to go do.
Off the boat. Off the boat.
That's
What'd
right.
y'all do? What'd y'all do for excursion?
Well, you know, so here it is again.
Glass
We
bottom
didn't-
boat? No.
No. We,
no.
we didn't take any of this stuff seriously again because we felt that this cruise would be canceled at any point in time.
Oh, okay.
So we booked from what was left. And my mom and dad booked the Nassau. I'm sorry.
Glass bottom boat?
It's no. It's called the Discover Nassau by Land and Sea Excursion.
What the hell?
Discover Nassau by Land and Sea Excursion.
You took a car and then like a glass bottom boat?
No, like half the trip happens on a boat,
Okay.
and the other half happens on a bus.
Oh,
Okay.
the boat turns into a bus.
No.
That's kinda
You
high.
get off the boat,
And then it
and you get on a bus.
So they booked
Oh.
this for their 50th.
that
They booked this.
that don't
Okay.
sound as exciting.
And
as
my
the-
wife, who was like, and I kept telling her, like, why don't we just book Atlantis? And she's like, no, you
I'm about to say Atlantis is pretty cool.
What's Atlantis?
She was like,
It's like a
Atlantis-
whole resort destination.
yeah,
it's pretty
like a
amazing.
water
Okay.
park.
Yeah,
for,
we're on
like,
a park. There's like a hotel. There's like tons of shit.
Oh,
It's expensive as
It's
what it
expensive
is.
as fuck, but it's cool as hell.
that's what it
I
is.
traveled
It's
with my parents to the Bahamas just for Atlantis, and it was pretty badass.
wow. Okay, she
Yeah.
could have
Yeah.
pulled that
By
off.
itself.
You know?
I didn't even do a cruise. I just did Atlantis by
Why you
itself.
just took the boat to get to
And-
Atlantis?
No. I took a plane to Atlantis, to Bahamas, and it's like you could gamble at age 18. So it's like I'm sitting there gambling.
Imagine
up
being
there.
like in an island paradise
crazy.
with water slides and stuff, and you're in the
amazing.
Bahamas.
Yeah.
Atlantis was a beautiful
It was a big
place.
thing, yeah.
But no one else was booking it. My wife was like, well, we'll just book it for your parents because we're going to...
Oh, because there's
Yeah.
that anniversary.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah. You gotta.
So
yeah.
we wake up that morning. It's sunny. It's beautiful. It's the Bahamas. The water is turquoise. It's clear. Like it's
Gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. We go to breakfast. I mean, we can't wait to step off. We step off the boat. We're docked between a Norwegian cruise ship
Yeah.
and a Carnival cruise ship.
That's the coolest thing, yeah.
Yeah, and it's kind of like a hierarchy of cruise ships because you have the Norwegian, the Disney,
And then Carnival.
and the Carnival.
Everybody else on the Carnival.
So you got Neiman Marcus, Target, Walmart.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. Yeah, exactly what it is.
And, you know, for the people out there, I don't mean to generalize. I don't want to generalize.
But you can, I think.
But you could
I think
tell
you can.
who the Carnival passengers were.
Oh wow. They were the ones that couldn't make it past
And look,
the COVID test.
They were the big ladies they were big girls wearing little clothes.
Oh, I know a few
And
of
those
them.
thongs were hanging on for dear life.
Yeah.
And you know, like you're sitting around with shirts with like Mickey and Goofy and Donald, and they're wearing shirts that say legalize it. Like they're
Pass pedestrian on the left-hand side.
Yeah, if you want to give me a real patty, get the buns back
No,
here,
look,
stuff
yeah.
like that.
Eli, I can
right?
corroborate that because I was on a Carnival cruise, and yes, absolutely.
No, I know a few women
I
in
was
my
in
time
I was in
that
Port Nassau when I was on a Carnival. Somebody else was in Disney. Somebody else was in a
they were little. They little.
It was a
hood.
different vibe.
They a
It
little
was
hood. No,
totally
I
different.
got my
So-
shirt.
Yeah.
we step off the boat. We're standing
In
in
Nassau, you're on Nassau.
Yeah, we're in Nassau.
Yes, sir.
You're in
Yes,
Nassau.
sir.
It's beautiful, but you look in the distance, you can see like Atlantis, you can see like the water, you can see
Yeah.
you're just taking it all in. It's beautiful at first,
At first.
but you realize you're standing on the port with no shade,
That's correct.
and 5 minutes becomes 10 minutes, and 10 minutes becomes 20 minutes, and 20 minutes become 30 minutes. And one thing you should know about my wife is that she has the skin complexion of chalk. Anyone here will tell you that my wife is
White.
like white.
She's white.
Very white.
Pasty.
Like vampires do better in the sun than my,
She
my
won't
wife
tan.
does.
She'll turn red.
No, she will turn red.
She will turn red.
She will turn
100%.
red, yes.
If she was a Disney character, she would be Snow Whiter.
And that's not no knock on her. That's just how she is.
That's just how her complexion is.
No, it's just true, but
It's truth.
Snow White.
She's Snow White test.
Yes, she baked in the sun for about 30 minutes.
man.
She went from chalk white to lobster red.
Oh boy.
With-
Yeah, she
Then-
looks like a toaster oven element.
100%.
Oh boy.
I don't know. I was there. I'm just guessing.
And then finally they load up this boat,
Okay.
and it's a catamaran boat.
Catamaran.
Catamaran. I'm sorry, did I say it wrong?
Yeah,
What is
you
that?
said
I did.
catamaran.
Catamaran. It's
What
a
is-
catamaran boat.
Catamarans, you got the double pontoon.
It was called the
That's all good.
Seahorse. What was a catamaran?
Oh, like there's two. they
yeah, you
look
got
like
two- it's a catamaran, yeah,
oxygen.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
There's
not a
like-
glass bottom. It's a catamaran.
There's a net in the front between the two sides of the boat.
Yeah, it's like Hunger Like the Wolf, Duran
Right.
Duran video.
Exactly. They
Awesome.
encourage people, like to go out on the net and go sit in the net so that way you can see all the Bahamas. Like, don't sit like, because there's like a
Yeah, hang
little
your vagina
cabin
on the net.
There's a cabin with like a canopied section that you can sit underneath. And needless to say, like after my wife was sitting in the sun for that long, we made a beeline for that canopied section. So we're sitting there, and then finally the boat takes off, and there's people on the front of the boat, and there's us under the canopy, and we're the few, and they're the many, and it's pretty. It's pretty, I suppose, but the tour is kind of lame.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, here's Oprah's house, and this is a CEO of Starbucks' house, and there's Atlantis, which we've been staring at for the last 30 minutes.
Which you could have paid extra for just to go.
And then they're offering you, like, they have this cooler of like rum punch. And they're just like pouring it out, and they're just handing it to any guest over there. I'm not drinking it because I don't want some weird Bahamian parasite that's going to lead to me spending the next 2 days on that tiny toilet back in my stateroom.
Doubled up.
Good thing I wasn't on there. I would have totally enabled that.
Where's the card, baby? The parasite ate it. Damn
I'll say,
it.
Danny, drink that.
Oh no.
Then all of a sudden we come across a gray cloud on the horizon.
A gray cloud.
The gray clouds
Oh,
on the
no.
horizon. This cloud kept getting bigger and bigger.
Oh no.
And bigger. And our tour guide, who's a totally nice guy, is like, he started yelling for everyone who was sitting on the nets on the front of the boat to come underneath the awning.
Oh,
under the canopy.
like an actual weather cloud.
And now we're packed in like sardines. We're gonna die. And the water starts getting rough.
Oh,
And that boat,
And
which
wait,
is
you're on
cruising
a
along.
you're on a catamaran.
Oh yes.
Oh, my God.
Oh, it's bumping. It's bumping, Kev.
Oh, no.
And we're jumping up and down
Oh,
like that
no.
boat has. Oh. And
No.
then the water's coming in from the sides, and it's raining, and people getting wet.
Oh, my
and
God.
Rum punch is spilling everywhere. People are ducking down. I was like, I didn't realize that when we booked this, we're going through the heart of the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh, no. Well, you're like that movie with, like, what's his name? Like,
Oh, you George Clooney.
Yeah,
And Mark Wahlberg. Yeah,
Mark Wahlberg.
It was a perfect storm. And so we're all bound up like as one underneath this canopy.
So wait, were you hoping they'd have like a memorial to you on the Bahamian island?
Oh, there should be.
Here lies the Lawless family who fought the perfect storm.
Survived the trials of COVID.
Oh, my God.
At some point, the tour guide says, F it. I'm not even going to bother to tell him about all the houses on the side of the island. He just ducks underneath it with the rest of us.
So
He says, screw it. We're out of
He's
here.
like, screw it, we're going. But,
yes,
but,
Yes, but.
just when you thought things couldn't get worse,
No.
that tour guide said 5 little words.
You're on your own.
You're on your own. That's 4. That's 4. It's 4.
I can't count right now.
It's 4.
You are on your own.
You are.
Yeah,
You are on your own.
You're on your
I am not here for you.
you are gonna die.
in the Bahamian Islands.
You took the tour with me. Now I'm gonna flee.
Michael Laverne sings the song.
You are on your own.
Yeah, April.
The tiny ship got tossed.
Oh, no.
And then the minnow
And
was
the manor
lost.
was lost.
Hungry like the wolf. Durang's the bomb.
Oh my God! And here comes the storm.
All
in
right,
the
so
Bermuda
the
Triangle.
captain of your boat, your catamaran, not
My
boat.
captain.
The captain of your catamaran said,
said,
"F
Screw
it,
it. I'm.
I'm going under this thing." What
Yes.
happened next?
He said 5 little words
What was that? It was 5 little words.
that made everything better. You know what those 5 little words were?
I got more rum punch.
You're on the Disney cruise.
No. The Wi-Fi password is Seahorse 4.
On the catamaran?
And just like that, I was online. I was catching the highlights from the Pelicans game. I caught the player interview. I saw the locker room celebration. I was in the moment, and I was having the time of my life. We got back to the dock. People were screaming and yelling and arguing. They're asking for their refunds. I was like, man, one more time. One more time.
Amen.
I like it.
Amen. Hallelujah.
How you did it? Oh,
praise
Lord,
baby
it
Jesus.
is. And everybody want to see
praise
it
baby
again.
Jesus.
Why the ship was torn.
I didn't even want a refund. I felt like that few moments of Wi-Fi gloriness was just perfect.
No, back up. The perfect storm gloriness, right?
Yes,
That
100%.
was amazing.
Now it's time for the bus version of the tour. So me, my wife, and my child said, screw it. We're going back on the boat. My mom, my dad, my brother-in-law, my sister, my nephew, my niece, they went on the tour and they saw rats.
Oh, we don't talk about Bruno.
Yes.
Oh my God.
They call them bunnies.
Oh,
On the tour,
bunnies?
yes. So my wife and my kid went to the Senses Spa. They got their hair done. I went to the rainforest room, and that's when I got to realize all the tropical rainforest. I experienced every single one of those rainforest sensory showers. I did all that, and as I crawled in the jacuzzi, I swear to you, I'm sitting there, and I'm looking out in the jacuzzi, I'm looking out in the ocean, and I'm just relaxing. It's like, this is awesome.
good,
This is
right?
great. It's great. And as I'm listening to the tranquil music, all of a sudden, I hear a couple of loud horns blare.
Your sister is screaming?
And out of the right, from the right to the left,
No.
Like
that carnival ship proceeded to sail in front of us,
Bah.
blaring, you down with OPP? Yeah, you know me, you down with OPP.
Dude,
and there
He's
were...
not lying.
There were passengers. They were bumping. They were grinding. They were twerking. One girl flashed a titty.
What?
I'm telling you.
What? Eli?
Super sexy.
Danny is not kidding. I swear to God, I was on a Carnival cruise. I swear to God, if the
Yes.
Carnival cruise could have ground effects, they would have ground effects. He is not lying.
My
Those motherfuckers would have went by going,
my tranquility was disturbed by people
Booty shaking.
bumping and grinding and twerking
Yes.
and showing stuff.
I don't see
there was
nothing
a
wrong
Lido
with
down that Lido deck. That's it. That's exactly what Carnival does.
Woo, you ain't toast nobody to the
They bring in the ground effects, the bouncing boats, and everything. If they have hydraulics on their boats, Carnival would do it. Dude, it is. Carnival is like they don't play.
Wow.
Carnival's crazy. They say, "F you, Disney. This is how we be.
This is how we
roll.
This is how we do it. We got our chicks
roll up in
twerking.
here in the Nassau.
I know some wild chicks that go on them cruises too, so that
explains a lot.
That
Bro.
explains a ton. And then, yeah,
Dude, they're all about the ball. That's it.
because they
That's the ball. Eli, Disney's like ba da 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 da.
Yes.
But like Carnival's like bah. They got hydraulics. I swear, if they could have hydraulics on those boats, Carnival would freaking rock it. If you're like a Fast and the Furious up in that.
That's the thing, man. Like Carnival passengers, like
They don't play. They party.
I don't mean to generalize, but the guys had like
neck
tattoos on the neck, on the face.
Dude, time out. Look, I went on a Carnival cruise once, and we parked in Cancun next to another Carnival cruise, and their DJ and our DJ had a battle.
Oh wow!
And they just went nuts, dude. It was freaking nuts. Up on the Lido deck, it was insane.
That's funny.
Their boat played their tune. Our boat played our tune. We're like, yeah,
Dude.
and the Disney cruise is sitting like, what the hell are you guys? Whoa. And Norwegian's like, I don't care.
Norwegian's like
we're above all these.
We're above. Here, have some caviar. We don't.
See why you pay extra.
Norwegian was the class.
Yeah, Norwegian was pretty badass.
Yeah, I bet you ain't seen nobody with goals.
Carnival don't play though, man. You talk about East LA, lowriders, ground effects. It's not even playing.
Right. So after all that, we.
I mean, you got to see some TNA, but your parents got to hang out with the rabbits.
Yes.
Which maybe they meant to say rabies.
Wait, so you guys chilled out, and your rest of your family had rats
on the boat, on the
bus. They were back on the boat at this point.
Oh, they were back on the boat. Okay.
They're back on the boat at this point in time.
Back on the
Carnival's twerking. They're showing us
twerking.
They go. They got one note.
After that, what up, bitch? My wife and my kid and me, like we check out the spot, and my wife looked great. My kid looked great.
Oh, good.
Oh yeah,
good. I'm glad.
Like a day later, I went to Anderson and got my hair cut because Anderson was such a cool dude.
He did that.
Yes. All right. Anderson did that. He told me all about his boyfriend, how he left him, and anyway,
how he left him. Was he trying to pick up on you?
No, we were just talking about life.
No, I think it was trying to pick up. It's like when we were in the Italy Pavilion, Epcot, and those women liked you. The sisters loved you.
Well, everyone loves me.
They talk about Canada.
I'm talking about Danny.
I'm saying, don't even.
They love me,
Danny, and it's like Gush.
No, I'm saying yes.
They love me, but they talk to him.
Oh, to Eli?
Yes.
Because he's BBC.
But
they assume that.
They're comfortable talking to him, and then they'll come to me and be like, hey, do something crazy like twerk. Like, nah, I'll twerk. They're like, we go back to him.
I talk to you, but I know you got the bigger one.
Yeah, I got to lie and tell them I'm a football player, then they stick around,
So after that, we went to the Midship Detective Agency.
Yeah.
Okay, and
that's good.
We had our choice of games, and of course, knowing me, we played the Muppets game.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Of course.
Which was a ton of fun.
Did you see Pepe's stateroom?
Yes.
Isn't that great?
I have a picture.
Yeah, that's great.
So clever.
I love Pepe.
It was so cool. The only thing I could say about that is that it's a bit exhausting.
Yes, it is.
Because
you're all over the boat.
They say it's a midship detective agency.
It's
you're the front of the boat. You're at the back of the boat. You're every deck of the boat.
And Eli, look, like the Pepe the King Prawn has his own stateroom where it has a bunch of clues depending on which game you play.
Oh wow! Okay.
So eventually, every game's got to end up at Pepe's stateroom to get the next clue to continue the rest of the mission.
And eventually, I got smart enough to where I took pictures of the damn door.
Yes!
So I didn't have to go ahead and do that anymore. I'm like, all right, you got me, Pepe, but no more. I took pictures of the door, and then
that's smart. Yeah, by the third time, I figured that out. That's good. That's good you got that.
The next day, so we go to bed that night. We're feeling good. We had the people on Carnival twerking goodbye to us.
What a nice day.
This was the animator's palette night. Where Crush, again, they need to rethink that. Because Crush can't be talking to you as your waiter's taking your order. But
it used to be different, and then when they got the bigger boats, it changed.
Okay.
The next day, we go to Castaway Cay, and needless to say, after our last trip to Nassau, we were a little concerned about the beach time.
Oh, really?
and
Okay.
and how that was going to turn out.
But Castaway Cay, in my opinion, is a little different, so I'm curious to know what you think.
Well, again, like my wife and I are not beach people. We like the beach,
Yes.
but we like it when we're staring at it from an air-conditioned controlled balcony about 300 feet away.
That's fair.
That is nice. That was nice.
If you stay on the boat, you can do that.
And Eli knows this. We went to what was it,
That's
Point
absolutely
Clear, Alabama, wherever it was.
Yeah, to the
we were in
beach,
Gulf
yeah.
Shores, and we were like, "The hell with this. We're not doing this too."
Yeah,
much."
but we'll watch you from the
Yeah.
balcony. And we watched. Yeah,
See, that's a little different. My family,
Yes.
we hang on the sand, no problem.
But we got off the boat, and who's the first person that we run into but Captain Jack Sparrow?
Really? Oh, no.
He's like, "Hello, mates." And we say, "Hello, Captain Jack." And even though I know it's just a guy in a costume, I just felt bad for him, and I wanted to be like, "Man, I'm sorry, Amber Heard in your bed."
Did he make you...
I'm so sorry, dude. I want to give Captain Jack a hug.
Did he make you run the Castaway Cay 5K?
He did not make it.
Okay, I'm about to say,
but-
if you ran that thing, I was like, son of a... That Captain Jack is awesome.
But my sister, my brother-in-law, my nephew, my niece, they
Oh, yeah,
ran
they
the.
did.
No,
the
they
four-
did? Really?
They did.
Did they get the medal and all
They
that?
got a medal made out of tire rubber,
Oh, well, yeah.
which I proceeded to tease my sister like no tomorrow because later on we watched some.
Fast and Furious? Is that what you did?
No, we
And you
watched.
realized that the metal could withstand a bunch of high temperatures?
There was some newlywed game that they played where it was like family trivia or some crap like that. And they asked some questions, and don't you know those kids? Whoever won, they got the exact same medal. That my sister and them got. I was like, "Are you freaking kidding?"
No.
My sister was so proud. She should have been proud because she ran that thing, and then good for her.
Wait.
But it was a crappy medal.
Wait,
It wasn't a metal. It was rubber. Tire
But
rubber.
it's
You have to
vulcanized
run-
rubber, though. Tire rubber is vulcanized rubber.
Recycled type
It can
of
withstand
tire
a bunch
rubber.
of temperatures,
you gotta
right?
run a 5K race to get a piece of tire.
No, I mean, they have
Tire rubber.
Yeah,
to be
rubber.
fair.
Eli, on the
I just
Castaway
didn't know what
Cay.
this is that you're
Yeah, look,
talking
on
about.
Castaway Cay, you can run a 5K race on Castaway Cay
Yes.
and earn a medal.
Yes.
It's part of the whole Run Disney program that they
Yes.
have. And if you want to do it, you can partake in it. And eventually, I guess you win like a vulcanized rubber medal.
Yes.
Which I'm curious. I want to see this. So, Sandy, I want to see this, Sandy.
It looks like if you put two magnets on the back of it, it should be sticking on your refrigerator.
But it can withstand
is
high temperatures if it's vulcanized, right?
It's a crappy metal.
Ah.
And, like my sister deserved more. She deserved more. She deserved a real medal. Even Aaron was making fun of her, like, "That's all you got." Like,
Wait. Do we want to give her the golden Mickey?
Aaron ran that with a bad back. Aaron was laid up after that.
He
because
deserves a
I was
freaking
gonna
good
say,
medal then.
why would they run that? That's what I didn't understand.
No, they
was
do that
the
every
award.
time. It doesn't matter.
It's just a thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're Run Disney and if you're into all that, you have the option to earn a medal on Castaway Cay.
Oh,
and
well.
that's it. It's just one of those things.
Okay, no, I get it because Sandy and
They do it for-
Debbie
they do
do
it
that
for every boat.
exercise.
It's in the name.
Right.
Medal.
And it's early in the morning, too, if I remember.
Yes.
You don't win a rubber, you win a medal.
Yeah, it's early in the morning, if I remember correctly,
ain't
right?
catching
You
me
got to get
doing
up
that.
early to do that run.
Can I tell you something? Like, we went to, so we go out to the beach. It's just me and my wife.
It's
and my
like Castaway Cay, right?
kid. Yeah, we're at Castaway Cay.
Castaway, you go
we
on
get
the
off.
beach, right.
We just saw Captain Jack. We stop at the first beach. We grab a seat.
Did he ask you why the rum's always gone?
No. He
Didn't? Oh, what a missed
So we
opportunity.
spilled it on the catamaran, that's why.
No, you could have said because I drank it all.
He asked what his movie roles were always gone.
Because Amber Heard said you were a bitch.
Exactly.
That's why. Because Amber said you were a bitch.
But my daughter was scheduled to do the parasailing.
Oh,
And
okay.
My sister didn't book my nephew for he was supposed to go up there with her, and we were just like, you know what? If we can just cancel it, that would be great. Because
Yeah.
Lily was already ready to go in anyway. And
That's
then
good. That's good.
that's when we had our couples massage. Like a
You
few
and
minutes
your
later.
parents, and then you and Anna?
No, me and Anna had a couples massage. My parents were watching Lily.
I'm sorry. I didn't know if your parents, I didn't know if your sister watched Lily and your parents got the part.
I admire your imagination, but no.
I know. I was
I
thinking maybe for their
mean-
50th, maybe they had a couple.
I mean, that's family togetherness, and then it's just like, no, that shouldn't happen.
I was giving the benefit of the doubt. you know,
dude.
so,
After all the sun, I mean, it was like a race to see who stayed awake. Like I would fall asleep and she'd hear me snoring, and it would like you would fall asleep in the middle of a massage because you had a long day, and you'd be like, and it would wake you up, and you just jump up at the start.
I hear that.
But they would hear
I
it.
see you, I see
but
you,
then
yeah.
they would do the exact same thing, and so my wife would go ahead and she'd fall asleep, and then boom, she would jump right up because that wakes you right the
Yeah, the minute you
right
start
up.
snoring, it's like it wakes you
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, because you're not breathing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
So we did dinner again. We went in search of a TV to watch the Pelicans Suns game.
Oh,
did dinner
man,
at
you
the-
were on this quest again?
No,
You did dinner at the rotational restaurant.
It wasn't a quest because we were like, okay, we were just happy that they made it. So we moved on.
Okay.
But
What?
at one point in time, we met up with my nephew and niece. And we were all trying to find the Pelicans. No Pelicans. So we're like, all right, let's go to Disney Lounge because they had a family game. It was like a newlywed game. It was like, okay, mom and dad or dad and mom or wherever it was with the kid. And they had to answer questions. And so we sat there. We had a good time. I wish we would have been chosen, but my wife put me in charge of finding her a Jack and Coke and
You
Jack and
took all of
water.
the rest of it out.
Yes, and like I said, she had already cleared out 2 of the bars, so I had to go to a 3rd bar. And finally, I found some Jack left in the boat, and I got my wife a Jack and water. But by that point, by the time I got back, they'd already chosen a different couple. So there were 3 couples up there. We got to watch the whole thing. It was fun to watch. So anyway, all in all, we had a good time. I'm trying to think of how to how do you encapsulate this into one trip? Would you do it again? Would you not do it again? And I got to tell you, I was really worried that without the Disney parks, you'd be missing out on some of the Disney magic if you were aboard the cruise lines. But there were characters everywhere. The music was everywhere. The feeling was everywhere. I felt completely immersed in the world of Disney. So, bravo to the cruise line for coming through in a huge way and really delivering something that I didn't think was possible. But they somehow managed to deliver the world of Disney on the cruise ship. And make you feel like you are 100% immersed in the magic when you were sailing to Disney. So Disney Cruise Lines deserves a big hand, deserves a big appreciation for doing what they did to make you feel like that. Now, having
can
said
see
that,
that.
I was going to ask you,
Absolutely.
it's a different
No, that's
style.
great.
It's a different style of magic because we've had
It's a different type of vacation.
It is.
It's a totally different type of vacation.
It is. Now, my worries about the room, the Wi-Fi, the quality of the food, the overcrowding of the ship,
It's completely legit.
hanging on the beach all day and stuff like that. All that was completely legit. I'm sorry, the Wi-Fi that's that should be complimentary.
Yeah.
There's not even a question.
I
Yeah, you
agree
should
with
have to pay for
Yes,
that.
I
yeah,
agree with
absolutely.
that.
18% gratuity on every purchase.
You mean at a restaurant?
No.
But
No,
yeah,
yeah. It's automatic.
But now the restaurants, you're not paying for your food. That's included in your cruise price. Now, what you're paying for is the tip.
That's
What you're paying for
Yeah,
is
at
like,
the end of the trip. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
let's say Eli had 2 beers. Automatically 18% gratuity is going to be added to his two beers. Whereas
Yeah.
normally if you go to a bar, you're tipping the bartender $1. You're tipping not $1 but 18%.
Well, let me understand. Okay, now you also say, like, let's say there was a shirt. Once the stores opened up, once you got water,
Yes.
you got to pay an 18% gratuity on buying a shirt at a store.
Not on just buying stuff.
It's the service.
It's the service.
So you're talking about the room steward. You're talking about your waiter, your sommelier.
Right.
You're talking about all those guys.
But I ain't worried about all them. They smell what they want, but I can't be giving 18% gratuity to everybody.
I haven't talked about this, but I mean, like, and there's also like, and this is where my wife had been on different cruises, carnivals, to be sure. But she had been on different cruises before this, and she kind of pointed out, and she was right, where they try to sell you on, like, you'll be sitting there and they're trying to sell you on a wine package.
Yeah, easily.
Or they're trying to sell you on
a photo package, or
yes, a photo package.
Something.
Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, before we went on the cruise, like, my stupid dog left a bone in the middle of the room, and like I stepped on it, I twisted my ankle was a little swollen.
Oh,
and the woman who was massaging me, the bamboo woman, she was like, oh, your ankle's swollen. And I told her the story of what happened, and she said, I'll bring you something for your ankle. And I was like, well, thank you.
Bring you something.
I'll bring you something for your ankle. Thank you. And she brings me these things, and I'm like, and she's like, you use this, and you put this on here, and you do this, and wouldn't you know, all that stuff was for sale, and she sold me a bunch of stuff that I didn't even realize.
Wait, you got charged for that stuff?
Yes.
Oh.
100% yes.
But that, to your defense, though, you was at super senses. I mean, I tell you what.
You were super relaxed.
Exactly.
When somebody's trying to sell you something.
But it wasn't disclosed to you that'd be an extra charge.
There's no defense on that.
Yeah,
and then that's like you're out and they say, hey, this is for you. I kind of can let that go.
But it was like everything like that. You let's say I went to the Cove Bar and I wanted to order a croissant.
Okay.
It's extra. It only counts when you're at the meals. It doesn't count when you're about. If you go to Vanellope Sweets,
that's extra.
You're paying extra.
Yeah,
because it's almost like a gift shop. I mean, it's not a gift, but it's considered like a gift shop. Now, if you go to the buffet or you go to
if you go to the buffet
restaurants at night,
right? Yeah,
that's all included in your cruise price.
Yeah.
You think you're getting ice cream and this is all included in the package, but it's not.
It's extra.
It's all added extra stuff.
Yeah, so you got to hit.
That's interesting.
You got to hit soft serve at the buffet or like nothing at all.
So that's because of the tier of restaurant you went to. That's how you.
No, it's just what's included with your packet. I mean, the basic Disney cruise line.
Yes,
you get the buffet, you get the meals, and that's it.
But that's not what they did.
So if you want but if you get like the massage or you get the candy shop, it's all extra on top of that.
Okay, so that's a separate thing.
Even the high-end dining like Palo or Remy's, it's on top of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you want to do something extra on top of what you get with the basic price, you're expected to pay.
But you don't know that until you do it.
Exactly.
Okay, well that's why I'm asking these questions because I haven't. So
fair enough. That's definitely fair. Yeah, and you're not the only one, I'm sure.
Trust me,
that's not fair.
You're gonna have a great time, but you don't realize how many things that you engage in that you don't realize is for cost.
I understand.
Right. I mean, you can still do the cruise without doing those extra costs, but if you want to do the cost, it's
not high end though. I mean, I want what he said earlier. I want the person being like, "Hey, I am so happy to see you today, and you made my day."
Oh, they do that.
Yeah, they do that. It's going to be high end because it's Disney. Versus when you're comparing Disney cruise versus Carnival cruise, it's a totally different service experience.
Well, that's fair. I mean, I don't know.
You can get the basic.
I'm trying to think if there's anything on Carnival like that. Like,
no, there isn't. There really is not.
Like you go to get a burger, you don't pay extra for the burger. You just get the burger.
No, it's like I can tell you, like
does the cook twerk while they make the burger?
Only when they depart in front of you.
Yeah, and they don't give you like mushrooms in your omelet.
Wow.
So is that everything? Have we covered everything?
I know there's a couple of things that you said. Let me get back to this, and so I guess did you cover that?
Oh, Danny, the fireworks, because I know that the only cruise line that can do the fireworks.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay,
yeah, what did you talk about the fireworks?
Fireworks on the boat?
They're the only cruise line that's allowed to have fireworks on the boat that's commissioned a non-wartime vessel.
Two things, because Kevin was supposed to ask me about what's it called? What was the show? I believe.
The cruise ship shows. Yeah.
Yes,
because they have 2 rotations of dining. You could go see a show, then dine, or vice versa.
Right. And then we only did one show, and that was the Believe show. We missed the Golden Mickeys because we were in line at the gift shop, and the last show was Beauty and the Beast, which, I mean, I'm sorry.
No, you've seen that, yeah.
We've seen the animated version. We've seen the live-action version. We know the story. It's
all about the glory.
Golden Mickey's is a show that's been around in the cruise line since like before when I was on a honeymoon. So
100%.
It's been around for a long, long time.
It's a clip show.
Yeah, it's a clip show. Believe is the newest show as of 2018. So Danny got to see that one.
Yes. Let's start with, what was the question? It was...
the fireworks.
Don't you know that Carnival cruise ship stayed with us the entire time?
Oh, did they mooch off your fireworks?
Until the fireworks were over, and I never saw the Carnival ship again.
Oh, they said
that Carnival ship.
That is crazy.
That Carnival ship was neck and neck with us the entire time. Until that fireworks was over, and I never saw them again.
Like, no, we're not at war. We're leaving.
They probably they was food hell. They probably had all the people on their desks. Like, y'all want to see fireworks show? We got a fireworks show for y'all. They
like the people that go to the drive-in movie. They like the people that go to the drive-in movie, but watch the movie behind them.
No, they like the people that steal your cable.
Yes.
While you paying for cable. Take your Wi-Fi stuff.
Wait, so they left before the fireworks?
No.
They left when the fireworks was done.
They stayed.
There was visibly a cruise ship in the distance. And I'm 99.9% sure that was that.
That's some janky stuff.
It is. Listeners, like the Disney Cruise Line is the only cruise line that's allowed to have explosives on their vessel that is not a wartime ship.
And there was a cruise ship that stayed with us the entire time.
Oh, wow.
That was Carnival.
That is awesome.
I bet they told them. The Carnival guy probably the Carnival captain like, look, if you look over to your right, you'll see another Carnival ship that's actually launching the fireworks for you.
Once the fireworks started, my daughter, who does not like fireworks,
oh yeah, I know she hates them.
Start tearing up. My wife took her under, and within 2 minutes, it was over.
Yeah, it's short.
It's a very short, nondescript, very light was what this was.
Okay. Yeah, when I was on it in 2018, they had a whole Jack Sparrow story with it. And then it ended with something happening, and then Jack Sparrow, and then the fireworks went off, and that was it.
I went and got my wife and I drinks with my kid.
Yes.
I came downstairs. I didn't have the drink with my kid because the bartender told me, quote unquote, it would take too long to make that drink because there was a lot of people waiting.
Yeah.
And I wasn't nothing against the bartender. The bartender was a good dude. In fact, I saw him the next day, and he was like, dude, I'm so sorry I couldn't make that drink for you.
What was the drink, out of curiosity?
It was like a strawberry slushy kind of something blended something. It was like Currants, which would have been the adult bar.
I got you.
While my wife and kid were on the family deck right below there. And I was like, dude, don't worry about it, because the minute the fireworks went off, my daughter freaked. And my mother and my father took her down below, and my wife waited for me. And by the time I brought her the drinks, the fireworks were over.
Yeah, it was very short.
That quick.
It was very short.
Very, 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 very short.
And they stay in Bahamian waters to be safe. That's it.
Yes.
They don't cross into international waters before they do that.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because that's the only way they have rights to do it. Other than that, they're considered a warship.
So she was already below decks before that happened. By the time I got down, the fireworks were over. It was so short, but there is something nice about you're in the middle of the sea,
and it's Disney, and they're the only ones.
Yes,
they had the fake second funnel. They have two funnels like it's an old cruise ship.
Yes,
the second funnel is fake.
Right,
that's where they launched the fireworks from. Because most cruise lines nowadays only need one funnel for exhaust. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else with the cruise line, man? I mean, it sounds like you covered it all.
I can look at this and I can say objectively, I was happy with what they put forth. But I'm just not a cruise guy.
Would you do it again?
All right, so tomorrow Disney calls you and said, hey, Danny, you know, we heard about all these problems you had with your Genie Plus when you were in the parks last week, and we'd like to make it up to you. We would like to either give you another cruise or give you a week in Disney on us. What would you do?
A week in Disney on them.
Oh, yeah, I would make a week in Disney,
Yeah, not even a question.
Money-wise, that's the better option.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about getting sucked up in the Bermuda Triangle.
I mean, no doubt.
Yes.
I love the service on the Disney cruise.
Yes.
But if you gave me those options, I would pick the parks any day.
It's all wonderful.
They're
really
wonderful people.
It's absolutely wonderful, but it's not a substitute for what you deal with. I mean, again, you take the worst aspects of staying at a hotel and you amplify it by 1,000, and that's what you're kind of dealing with on the Disney Cruise Lines.
And it's funny because they're doubling down on that with Wilderness Lodge when they're transforming the rooms to be like the Disney Cruise Line with the double bathrooms and the raised beds where you can shove luggage underneath, which is what they do on the cruise. So it's interesting that you're seeing that a lot of that on the DVC websites. Yeah. No, I'm glad you got to experience that, especially through Port Canaveral, because Port Canaveral is the only port where Disney has their own station, as it were. Because in Miami, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Galveston, they got to rent those areas, and it's not catered to the Disney style. Port Canaveral is the only place where like you enter the boat, and it's a Disney port. And it's not somebody else's port that they're borrowing.
Yes.
All right. Well, Danny, thank you so much for that description of your first time on the Disney cruise.
Yes.
I'm so glad to hear that. And maybe one day we'll get to do a podcast cruise. But look, if we go to Tokyo first before that happens, I'm okay with that too.
That's good.
I'm totally okay with that too. I mean, maybe it's time like the Disney podcast, but Magic Our Way podcast branches out to the other companies. I know you've been to France.
Yes.
Maybe we'll go to Tokyo. Maybe go to Hong Kong before they get taken over by China. That's a whole different story. Whatever. But I'm looking forward to hearing more of our adventures.
Oh yeah,
the state parks are what they are. We love Disneyland, but maybe it's time we start branching out. We'll see what happens.
This man tells some fun adventure stories. I tell you what.
But look, the adventures didn't end, Eli, because we still don't know. Because he did a land and sea trip.
Yes, we did.
We only know about the sea trip. We don't know about the land part.
Oh yeah, the whole land.
The whole land. So look, stay tuned. Stay subscribed to another show because we're going to hear about his land portion.
There it is.
Of his Disney trip. And look, if you have any opinions about the Disney cruise, about anything, we're about to tell you how to do that in just a little bit. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed that trip report about Danny's first experience on the Disney Dream or Disney Cruise Line.
Or Daphne's.
Look, magicourway.com is the way to go if you want to learn more about us, social media links, past episodes, and more. And if you want to get in touch with us, share your opinions, shoot us an email at show@magicourway.com or call or send us a text message at 1-815-MO-WEEKEND. That is 1-815-MO-WEEKEND. That is 669-4226. And of course, we have a couple guys do things outside the podcast. First of all, we got Eli does things with comics.
Hey, Rob Liefeld here. Deadpool, Cable, X-Force, Domino, Marvel Comics, Image Comics, all of it. You guys, what is up? Eli Ivory. What a great name. Eli Ivory, comic guru. I'm here to talk about you. I am here to say, check out ivorycomics.com. That's right, you. Check out ivorycomics.com. ivorycomics.com. If you're not doing that, you're missing out. The Savages comic cannot be beat, cannot be surpassed. You need to check it out, experience it for yourself, and you know the story. It's all about the glory. Congrats to you and all the magic that you're making with your Ivory Comics. Eli Ivory, comic book guru. Check out ivorycomics.com. Comic book guru. Eli Ivory, the whole package. Deadpool said to. Do it. ivorycomics.com. Right now. Liefeld out.
Man, I tell you what, I never get tired of hearing that. I was watching a biography about Chris Claremont. He's a writer for the X-Men a long time ago. And they talked about Rob Liefeld when he did like New Mutants with Cable and stuff. And I don't know why. I was waiting for him to point at me from the TV screen, be like, "We're talking about you." I don't know why. I get spoiled. Podcast spoils me all the time. But yes, Rob, thank you very much for that. And just like Rob said, you always could go to the Ivory Comics website, check out all those projects and all that artwork and all those blog posts and interviews. And, of course, a link to this podcast so you never miss an episode, a trip report, who survived what on the cruise, that went where. I mean, all kind of stuff. There's a link to all of that. There's all the action, all the time. That's what Synergy's about. That's what we do right here on the Magic Our Way podcast and the Ivory Comics website. Facebook.com, you can find me there. As long as you're a real person, how you doing? But if you're a bot, go out there in the water and get stuck in the Bermuda Triangle. So Eli H. Ivory on Facebook.com. That's where you can find me there. Project Geisha has a Facebook page, so Facebook.com/Project Geisha. Instagram, I'm right there posting up the hearts and the likes and seeing what you got going on with your films and your reels. EIvory504. And of course, on Twitter, I can be found at Hancock10166. So if you appreciate the madness, you're just bringing me the gladness. Thank you very much.
And look, guys, if you want to book a vacation on the Disney cruise, you can do so through Lee of Magical Moments Vacations. Lee, tell them how to book this cruise, sir.
Yeah, so give me a call at 832-431-1621. That's 832-ASS-SWAB. 832.
Wait, what?
SWAB.
What?
Ass swab. Remember you talking about this swab?
That's
Yeah, but I can't guess that's going to make the edit. Oh, my God.
3 hours ago.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
my goodness.
We'll take that one.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as that was said, he was like, I'm ready now.
So you can email me at lee@magicourway.com. On Facebook, you can find me at facebook.com/Las Travel. That's LASTOVICA Travel. Instagram, you got a friend in Lee Travel. And on TikTok, you got a friend in Lee. And if you do any of that, we'll get you hooked up and booked up with No.
Swabavica.
Awesome, guys. Look, in addition, there's so many ways to support the show as a whole. You can find them all on our website, magicourway.com. Plus, if you want to elevate your support of the Magic Our Way podcast, you can go to patreon.com/Magic Our Way. There you'll find 6 awesome tiers to support the show. Any way in which you can support the show is deeply appreciated. We also want to thank you for being a loyal listener, and we always love hearing from our listeners. All opinions are always welcome in the Magic Our Way podcast, so make sure you get in touch with us today. So, Mohicans, we say Kwaharini. My name is Kevin.
And I'm Danny.
Magic out.